Post on Truth Social, President Trump threatened to turn the screws even tighter, saying, quote, if the European Union works with Canada in order to do economic harm to the USA, large-scale tariffs, far larger than currently planned, will be placed on them both.
Well, that's Fox's Lucas Tomlinson. Democrats keep demanding an investigation into the security breach, allowing a journalist into a group chat discussing U.S. military action hitting Houthi rebels in Yemen. Senator Tammy Duckworth tells Fox,
I worry that our allies might not share information with us if they feel that we do not know how to safeguard.
Well, the Republican leading the Senate Armed Services Committee, Roger Wicker, wants an inspector general review. President Trump says
there was no harm done because the attack was unbelievably successful that night.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and other senior officials say no war planning or classified material was shared, though messages do include the timing and sequence of strikes. The National Security Advisor is investigating how the journalist was mistakenly added to the group chat.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. There's a gathering of European leaders in Paris focused on supporting Ukraine as more North Korean soldiers join the fight.
According to the South Korean military, North Korea delivered around 3,000 troops to Russia in the early months of this year. They're taking part in the war on Ukraine. South Korea estimates that the North has sent Russia approximately 11,000 military personnel in total, but thinks around 4,000 of them have been killed or wounded.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. We're still waiting for an update on 4 American soldiers who went missing during a training mission in Lithuania. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Orange cones and detour signs. It's 40 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. Your high today is 60. You have a clear radar at the moment. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 6:02. Construction has resumed in Hancock County.
Last night, the entrance and exit ramps at State Road 9 began closing, and westbound 70 entered a tricky crossover pattern starting before Greenfield. It lasts about 5 miles. Natalie Garrett of INDOT.
We're making improvements to 70 throughout Indiana, section by section.
This construction to I-70, which will add travel lanes, should be finished late October.
And that's Matt Baer reporting. The coroner was called out to East Raymond Street last night in Indianapolis as Metro Police say there was a crash, but they're not sharing any other details. You should know that a change is coming to the state income tax bill on Wednesday. It passed in the House Ways and Means Committee.
It sets up for the trigger to happen for that income tax reduction. You have to have 4 consecutive years of at least 4% growth. I do want to ask the committee to consider to move that 4% to 3.5%.
It might sound technical, but it makes cuts more likely. Some Democrats oppose the amendment. What if there was a chance that poisons and cancer-causing materials were seeping into your water? For some Hoosiers, that may be happening, says a lawsuit.
I'm Chris Davis reporting on the suit by the Hoosier Environmental Council filed last week in Morgan County that accuses the state of allowing those toxins to go to coal ash ponds and then possibly the White River at the AES-owned Eagle Valley Generating Station, which is upstream of Martinsville's water wells. The permit from the Indiana Department of Environmental Management ignores the danger and health of people there, says one side of that suit, and the HEC wants the permit revoked. Chris Davis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
The Indiana Pacers lost the game at the buzzer last night to the LA Lakers 120-119. Here's Indiana center Miles Turner.
I'm glad it kind of brought us back down to earth a little bit. We have a tough road ahead just to, try to get home court advantage in the playoffs. So, you obviously want to win games. Don't misquote me there. But at the same time, this is also a humbling, thing that happened.
And the Pacers play the Washington Wizards on the road tonight. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level on the go. And at WIBC.com, 6:04, traffic and weather together in 1 minute.
This is the most exciting time of the year, and we want you to go all the way, even if your team doesn't. March on, Indiana, in a Hubler quality pre-owned vehicle. Shop any of Hubler's 13 locations and choose from over 2,000 vehicles, including Chevys, Fords, Toyotas, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and many more. All makes, all models, certified vehicles, luxury vehicles, even the hard-to-find ones. Every Hubler Q-certified vehicle is covered by a 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty, plus a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report. Hubler's got you covered. Busted brackets not included. For over 2,000 vehicles, visit drivehubler.com or any of our 13 locations.
Hubler's got you covered. Cover me.
Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
All right, Northsiders westbound 465. Slow traffic before Meridian over to Ditch Road because of construction, blocking 2 right lanes. Up in Madison County, there is a crash on northbound 69 after State Road 9. It's been moved to the right shoulder. The right lane has reopened. Traffic sponsored by PureTalk.com. It's time to ditch big wireless. Pure Talk gives you unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month under 5G network. Dial pound 250 and say keyword switch now to save 50% off your first month. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Matt Bear, remind me to tell you at 7:35, I have a story. I have a story you're going to want to hear because something is coming your way. Remind me at 7:35. Not now, then.
During the Marketplace segment.
Shh.
No. Okay.
Just remind.
During your radio show.
Just remind Daddy.
Hey, Dad.
Nope. Sounded weird the minute I said it.
Can we go for a catch?
Sounded all sorts of... Look at you. All of a sudden, I'm
Dad?
Costner. I'm Costner,
Where
you're
were
Leota.
you when I was
Wait,
in high
you're
school?
Costner, I'm Leota in this situation. That's what it is. Whole show's awkward. All right, Marcus. Top that.
Speaking of awkward, here's Marcus. Hey, good morning. Happy Thursday to you. We got some cloudy skies. Cloudy skies this morning. Look, I think a lot of the day is going to be pretty quiet. Later this afternoon, watch out for a few showers. Nothing too crazy. We'll have highs into the mid-50s. More widespread showers, non-severe thunderstorms possible overnight. And we're going to stay mild, a low down to 50. I think the morning drive tomorrow potentially wet. The rain moves out by around lunchtime, and we're going to be really warm for the afternoon. Should be in good shape for the late evening games for the Sweet 16 tomorrow night. Friday's high 77. Saturday, partly cloudy. Showers late, a high of 70, and still the potential for some strong to severe thunderstorms Sunday afternoon and Sunday night with a cold front. Sunday's high 68.
So when the thunderstorms come, the games will basically already be done, right?
Well, it's super late, so it's raining probably through around lunchtime tomorrow. The first tip for the game tomorrow is at 7 o'clock, and I don't think Purdue tips off in the second game until a little after 10 o'clock tomorrow night. So really late, but should be completely dry and actually pretty mild. I think the 10 p.m. temperature here in Indy tomorrow night's around 68 degrees, so that's pretty good for all the Purdue fans downtown tomorrow.
Yeah, and that's good outdoor cigar weather. That is fine work.
Absolutely. Yes.
That is fine work.
Thank you, sir.
If anybody needs any downtown recommendations or any other recommendations, I am here to help. We will get this done. And if anybody needs a recommendation on how to be awkward and be ditched by the rest of your crowd, Marcus Bailey is here for you.
Here I am. That's what I do. Absolutely.
Right. And you do it great.
I appreciate that. Thank you. It means a lot.
I heard
work hard
that
on
you
it.
do this so well that the entire team at Wish TV quit and now works at WTHR.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Oh, Marcus. He's a good man. He's a good human being. Bless
Thanks,
your
buddy.
soul. Marcus
We'll see
Bailey,
ya.
Wish TV meteorologist. Go to it. We've got 36 degrees right now in the American Standard Heating Weather Center. The time is 6:09. %. That is the tariff announced yesterday by President Trump on cars.
So this is the beginning of Liberation Day in America. We're going to take back just some of the money that has been taken from us by people sitting behind this desk or another desk that's not quite as nice, but they have their choice of 7, as you know. And we're going to charge countries for doing business in our country and taking our jobs, taking our wealth, taking a lot of things that they've been taking over the years. They've taken so much out of our country, friend and foe, and frankly, friend has been oftentimes much worse than foe. And this is very modest. And what we're going to be doing is a 25% tariff on all cars that are not made in the United States. If they're made in the United States, there's absolutely no tariff. We start off with a 2.5% base, which is what we were at, and we go to 25%. And basically, as you know, and as you've been seeing, not reporting as accurately as it should be reported because it's a massive story. Business is coming back to the United States so that they don't have to pay tariffs. And I think also because of November 5th, the election, they're very happy.
Trump's entire belief, his methodology is you engage the tariffs, the businesses come to the U.S. Everything built in the United States. Yeah, I'm not totally there because I don't think it's totally rational. In that other countries want to survive too and want to grow too, and they want things where they are, and they take the tariffs as hyper aggressive to their existence. You're not going to see me argue reciprocation. You're not seeing me argue that at all. But yesterday he was discussing leniency. His tariffs might be more lenient in some cases because the other tariffs are so abusive, which was a recognition of where some of these trade issues are. Now it's 25% across the board. Add this to the bubble on car loan paybacks, where people are defaulting and subprime is defaulting. I can't imagine that this is 100% where we want to be. But Trump's methodology is it drives business here. And take a look at Taiwan Semiconductor, take a look at Apple, take a look at all the rest. And there's the proof. Hyundai with its billions, there's the proof. I do not know if that is self-fulfilling prophecy or not. And I think that economists seem to be a bit divided, depending on allegiances. I think people are divided, willing to see. But you can't think that a country is willing to give up all its production because, well, we don't want to pay a tax. That's not how other countries operate, and they've got egos too. I only believe that they can't abuse us. This is whether or not we should be abusing them. Is that the win? In some cases, it might be. I don't know about this blanket stuff, though. We'll keep talking about it going over it. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. What I do know is that the deals right now are at Andy Moore Ford in Plainfield. I mean, before any of this happens, and you're talking about Ford, you're talking about Made in America, you're talking about, my gosh, the deals, like $15,000 or more off the 2024 Ford Expedition Platinums. And they're incredible. They're incredible. Now I'm driving the Limited right now, the 3.5-liter EcoBoost, 400 horsepower. It is so comfortable. It is so easy. You're going to love it. And you're like, my gosh, it's a big car. It doesn't actually drive like one, which is pretty great. But if you want something a little bit smaller, the Ford Edge, the 2024 SE, save over $6,500 off MSRP. And all the commercial vehicles for your business. You need that van customized. You need that work truck just right. Andy Moore Ford, their fleet selection, medium to heavy-duty F-Series trucks, they've got everything. They're really, if you go to their lot, right, the whole showroom, 2713 East Main Street in Plainfield, an entire building dedicated to the fleet vehicles. You are going to be thrilled when you start working with Andy Moore Ford in Plainfield. Talk to them today. Pay them a visit. Tell them Tony Katz sent you. 2713 East Main Street in Plainfield. Or online at Andy Moore Ford, M-O-H-R, AndyMooreFord.com.
This is Gary Dick, an ag tech startup growing at 632. Brought to you by the 12,000 Hoosier men and women with Laborers District Council and affiliated local unions that build Indiana. We are LIUNA.
Traffic on the 5s. Matt Bear, what's up?
North side, westbound 465. Stop and go traffic before and after Meridian Street. That's because of construction blocking 2 right lanes. But once you're past Ditch Road, you are gone. Northbound 69 in Madison County crash. Northbound 69 between State Road 9 and State Road 67. It's on the right shoulder. No delay right now. Traffic sponsored by PureTalk.com. It's time to ditch big wireless. Pure Talk gives you unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month on their 5G network. Dial pound 250 and say keyword switch now to save 50% off your first month. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
36 degrees in the American Standard Heating Weather Center. The time is 6:15.
Indiana patients rely on many types of pharmacies to access their medications and critical healthcare services. But a proposal being considered in the Indiana legislature called SB 140 would disrupt access to medications for Indiana patients. SB 140 would impose government mandates blocking access to critical pharmacy options and services in Indiana. Lost access to pharmacy options would directly harm many of Indiana's most vulnerable patients, including patients fighting cancer and heart disease, many of whom rely on specialty pharmacies for their care. SB 140 would even hike costs for Indiana patients by imposing a $10 tax on every prescription filled in the state. That would often fall directly on the patient. Tell your state legislator, protect access to medications, reject higher costs. Put Indiana patients first by voting no on SB 140, paid for by conservatives for lower healthcare costs.
Meanwhile, at Xfinity. So, influencer life going well?
Oh, yeah. I'm up to 32 followers.
Oh, that's something.
Yeah, posting my tap dancing videos is easier than ever because we engineered Xfinity Internet with 99.99% network reliability.
Plus, Xfinity Mobile with Wi-Fi Power Boost gives you ultra-fast Wi-Fi at home and on the go. But wait, tap dancing? You don't tap dance.
Hey, what I lack in skill, I make up with passion.
Do more of what you love and love how fast you do it with Xfinity Internet and mobile. Now through April 17th, get 300 megabit Xfinity Internet and 1 unlimited mobile line together for $30 a month for 1 year and save $1,000 in your first year over Verizon and AT&T. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. After promo, regular rate supply. Savings compared to Verizon 5G Internet plus 1 unlimited welcome line and AT&T Internet 300 plus 1 unlimited starter SL line. Xfinity Internet required. Actual speeds vary. Reduced speeds after 30 gigabits of usage per line. Data thresholds and actual savings vary.
Americans love using their credit cards, the most secure and hassle-free way to pay. But D.C. politicians want to change that with the Durbin-Marshall credit card bill. This bill lets corporate megastores pick how your credit card is processed, allowing them to use untested payment networks that jeopardize your data security and rewards. Corporate megastores will make more money, and you pay the price. Tell Congress to guard your card, because Americans lose when politicians choose. Learn more at guardyourcard.com. Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
This is Joe Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the nation's largest family law firm, but we're more than just size. We're part of your community. With offices across the country, our attorneys and staff live and work right where you do. And because we're local, we know your courts, your laws, and your legal community. When divorce puts your future on the line, you need a firm that's both powerful and personal. Call Cordell & Cordell.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Indianapolis area attorneys. 101 West Ohio Street, Suite 1250, Indianapolis, Indiana 46204.
For all your home's heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and drain needs, remember the man for all seasons. Chapman. Drain cleanings right now, only $89. Schedule online today at chapmanheating.com. That's chapmanheating.com.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
So you've got more judges telling President Trump, you can't be president. You just can't do what you want to do regarding immigration, even though that's your purview. So you can't have that happening. It's all Blazing Saddles. You can't park that horse over there. Well, sometimes the horse is going to get a punch. Tony Katz I'm not advising you go out there and punch horses. That's not what it was a metaphor. 93 WIBC, good morning, Tony Katz, good to be with you. 3-judge panel stating that no, you cannot just send these illegal immigrant Venezuelan gang members back because they're here illegally. A 2-1 decision blocking the Trump administration's ability to move forward. This is the D.C. Circuit Court. This includes that Judge Patricia Millett, who had the audacity to say that we treated Nazis better. And to that, we should have treated the Nazis much worse. That doesn't mean we should treat the Venezuelan gang member better, who's here illegally. That is such a weird statement from Judge Millett that one wonders how they became a judge and why didn't I know you could be that out of your head and still get paid? I thought you had to be logical and reasonable and rational. Every now and then, all right, everybody has one, but in the main, but no, I've got this. This judge, if I had known, the things that could have happened. Now, there is an interesting argument here. As I'm reading this and trying to understand it, I believe what they are saying, these judges, is that you cannot utilize the Alien Enemies Act, 1798, as your rationale for the deportation because we are not at war. So one could argue that Congress would have to declare war for the Alien Enemies Act to be put into play. Now you'd have to go back in history and ask when it was used other times, and was it a wartime scenario, or could the commander-in-chief declare it so? Meaning that someone was being an aggressive nation and I had to act quickly for the preservation of the republic. Article 4, Section 4. Every citizen will be guaranteed a republic form of government and to protect the nation from invasion. Well, does that fall to Congress via a declaration? Because when Congress is not available to declare a war, right, you'd have to assemble them. The president is indeed allowed to act in the best interest of the country. So, right? The minute you hear that, it's you, the bourbon, the bar stool, and you're like, okay, this is all fascinating. Because I think their argument, and Shannon Bream on Fox was making this argument, and Shannon Bream knows her law. This is something you could at least sink your teeth into. Meaning that the deportations in and of themselves are fine. It is the utilization of the Alien Enemies Act that maybe isn't. Now, we can agree or disagree about the utilization, but it is certainly, if I understand it right, a very declarative statement that the president is indeed in charge of immigration policy and deportation. It's just a question of the mechanism used. Now, Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, has stated that this is now going to be state secret kind of stuff. We're not even going to tell you when we're engaged in these deportations. And Trump seemingly loves himself some Pam Bondi.
And this is a beautiful, strong, wonderful woman, Attorney General Pam Bondi. But yesterday, she was talking about these guys that like burning down cars and plants and everything else. And I was watching her on television. She said, I'm going to get you. We're going to find you. And you're going to suffer. And I say, man, I don't want her after me. And, it's amazing. The attacks have gone down very, very precipitously. So Pam is fantastic. Thank you very much, Pam. Really amazing.
Now, there is certainly, we've seen less going on at the border, but I don't know about attacks when you've got the destruction of property regarding Tesla and a host of other things. So I am not sure what comes next in this push to remove illegal immigrants. Because if you saw the video yesterday of Kristi Noem, the Homeland Security Secretary, she was in El Salvador. She is in front of the CCOT prison. That's the Bukele prison where no blanks are given and no guff is taken. That's right. I said guff. And she makes a video in front of these prisoners. Hey, if you're in the country illegally, this is where you're going to end up. This is one of our partners. This is one of the tools in our toolbox. So, you know what? Don't even bother coming to the United States. This conversation far from over, and I don't think the Trump team is going to stop regardless of what this panel says. Find another way, and this is clearly going to the Supreme Court. Matt Bear has traffic. What's up, Matthew?
North side, westbound 465, stop-and-go traffic before Meridian over to Ditch because of road construction. Also, Madison County, northbound 69 between State Road 9 and State Road 67. That's between Pendleton and Chesterfield. There is a crash blocking the right shoulder, causing no delay here at the moment. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Spring's here, and it's time for a new patio. Indy Decorative Concrete is offering free demolition. Offer ends April 30th. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com for details. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Hey, this is Rob.
And this is Casey.
Some Republicans are upset Elon Musk is coming for Social Security.
Join us Thursday, 9 until noon on 93 WIBC.
Spring is here, and it's time to shake off winter's dust, dirt, and allergens. Hi, this is Denny Smith for Zero Res, and if you're ready for a true spring clean, listen up, because this deal won't last. Right now, get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $119 and $75 off air duct cleaning. That's real savings and the perfect way to refresh your home. Winter leaves behind grime and odors and allergens trapped in your carpets and air ducts. And remember, your air ducts are the lungs of your home. If they're dirty, so is your air. Zero Res's patented ZR water cleans with no soap, no residue, and no harsh chemicals. Just fresh, healthy carpets and air. Beat the spring cleaning rush. Call 317-388-5141 or book online at ZeroResIndy.com. And don't take my word for it. Just check out 4,900 5-star Google reviews. Call now. Mention WIBC. Get 3 rooms cleaned starting at just $119 plus $75 off air duct cleaning. 317-388-5141 or ZeroResIndy.com.
Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing, must-visit shops. And how healthcare offices become the data managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business. Powering possibilities.
Now through May 4th, new customers can get started with 300 megabit internet and Security Edge for $69 a month for 24 months. And ask how to get free installation on qualifying bundles. Plus, find out how to get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Call today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Requires enrollment in paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account. Equipment, taxes, and other fees extra. After 24 months, regular rates apply.
Spring's here and it's time for a new patio. Indy Decorative Concrete is offering free demolition. Offer ends April 30th. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com for details.
My brother never checks on Dad. Or my sister won't make time to take Mom to the doctor. Are these things you've heard yourself say? This is Tina McIntosh, president of Joy's House and co-host of the Caregiver Crossing radio program. I have a caregiving tip for you. Stay tuned.
Cardon and Associates offers the finest senior living options tailored to your loved one's needs. Reservations are now being accepted for new apartments at Copper Trace in Westfield. Visit cardon.com.
Expressing anger or resentment toward unsupportive siblings can cause unmendable rifts in relationships. Don't try to control everyone else. You can only control yourself. The success of your caregiving journey does not rest on others. So enjoy the time with your loved one. This is your special time with them. More tips like this are available anytime at caregivercrossingradio.org. With new weekly content created by Joy's House and distributed in partnership with Network Indiana, we're an on-air and online support group for Hoosier family caregivers. Hear conversations with experts, access a library of online education, and more at caregivercrossingradio.org.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
All threats are on the table. It's 38 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. Your radar is clear. Your high today is 60. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 6:30. That's what the National Weather Service is saying about the chance for severe weather this weekend.
So the best chance for severe weather is on Sunday, but I wouldn't rule out some strong storms like early Friday morning and then potentially again on Saturday as well, because there will be showers and thunderstorms around that time.
And that's Cody Moore at the National Weather Service. 2 people involved with the Mexican mafia gang Sir 13 are wanted by Indianapolis cops this morning. Both men face preliminary charges of criminal organization activity, which is a felony. Court records show that one person is 16 years old. You may remember when a raid netted 7 people involved in that gang that happened last week in Indy. President Donald Trump has promised to impose additional tariffs on imported cars in April and warned there could be more coming.
Post on Truth Social, President Trump threatened to turn the screws even tighter, saying, quote, if the European Union works with Canada in order to do economic harm to the USA, large-scale tariffs, far larger than currently planned, will be placed on them both in order to protect the best friend that each of those 2 countries has ever had.
And that's Fox's Lucas Tomlinson reporting. More than 24 Kohl's locations are closing. The retail chain originally made the announcement in January that 27 stores would close in April. Then the CEO said that they were looking at other locations in California, Massachusetts, and Virginia. And a partial solar eclipse will be visible in parts of the U.S. this weekend. NASA says the eclipse will be visible early Saturday from Washington, D.C. to eastern Canada, with Maine getting the best view. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com. You have traffic, weather, and sports together in 3 minutes. It's 6:32.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio. I'm Gary Dick. Officials gathered in Vincennes this week to mark the official launch of Tariff, an agriculture technology startup that is developing autonomous robots designed to help large fruit farmers harvest their crops more efficiently. Founded by CEO Mike Jacob, the company's platform uses machine learning to detect, grade, and robotically harvest and plant watermelons, pumpkins, and cantaloupe. Jacob says the goal of Tariff is to help farmers address what he says is a $42 billion labor challenge.
One of the things that the artificial intelligence does for us is it compresses the development timeline and the amount of resources we have to allocate to get there. Sure, somebody could have developed an automated melon harvester a decade or 20 years ago, but the amount of resources it would have taken would have been completely unreasonable.
Indiana employers who pay for additional staff training that leads to increased wages could be partially reimbursed for the investment through a new tax credit included in the latest state budget bill. The Hoosier Workforce Investment Tax Credit would allow a business to claim a $5,000 credit per employee and up to $50,000 total for a maximum of 10 employees. In Northwest Indiana, MSI Express, a food and beverage manufacturing and packaging company headquartered in Portage, is under new ownership. The company has been acquired by Boston-based private equity firm Nonandum Capital Partners, the financial terms of the deal not being disclosed. From the state's #1 source for Indiana business news, you're listening to Inside Indiana Business Radio.
We build Indiana. The Laborers International Union of North America builds and maintains roads, bridges, and other essential infrastructure that make us the crossroads of America. So thanks to LIUNA members' work, Hoosiers have a better quality of life, like access to utilities, easier routes to jobs, schools, or medical care, and deliveries keep moving. We build Indiana for good jobs and stronger communities. The Laborers International Union of North America. We are LIUNA.
Today, you either innovate or evaporate. We are accelerating the pursuit of progress, from the foods we eat to the heights we soar, because this is Indiana, the innovation capital of the world. We rally visionaries across industries, investing connections as much as capital, and fuel our founders from dorm room to boardroom. Fuel your innovation with Elevate Ventures. Visit elevateventures.com.
Tourism officials in Hendricks County are touting a 5% increase in visitor spending as travel continues to open up after the COVID-19 pandemic. Visit Hendricks County, the area's tourism arm, points to a new report from Rockport Analytics showing just over $370 million in visitor spending in 2024. This is Gary Dick for 93 WIBC.
All right, on the north side, the construction has cleared on westbound 465. Traffic is clearing out on 465 and southbound 31 right now. But the exit ramp, the entrance ramp, is still blocked from Meridian Street to westbound 465 because of construction. That is still happening at the moment. Still a truck out there in front of that entrance ramp from Meridian Street. Also, looking at northbound 69 on the northeast side, we're stopped from 465 interchange up to 82nd. I'm told a crash is in that delay. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Spring's here and it's time for a new patio. Indy Decorative Concrete is offering free demolition. The offer ends April 30th. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com for details. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
36 degrees in the American Standard Heating Weather Center. The time is 6:36. Sports, Ryan Hedrick, what do you know?
Tony, what's up? The Indiana Pacers led by 1 in the final seconds against the LA Lakers on Wednesday night.
9 seconds to go. They'll hang on to the timeout. James has it right side. 4 seconds to go. On top to Doncic, a floater from the foul line is tipped in as time expires.
That's Mark Boyle on the Elevance Health Radio Network calling the heartbreaking shot. The Pacers play the Washington Wizards tonight on the road. The Sweet 16 continues tonight with 4 games. The Midwest region tips off tomorrow at Lucas Oil Stadium. Purdue meets Houston. The winner gets either Tennessee or Kentucky. Minor League Baseball gets underway tomorrow as the Indianapolis Indians open the year on the road against the St. Paul Saints. And Major League Baseball gets underway today. The Cincinnati Reds host the San Francisco Giants. Sports brought to you by Ball State Athletics. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
No two people learn the exact same way. So how did Babbel become the award-winning language learning app? We thought of you, all of you. Take Sierra. As a visual learner, she uses Babbel's wordplay videos.
Today I'll share a quick lesson on shopping in French.
Merci beaucoup. Keith is a be in the room with real people kind of learner. So he loves the live online classes with our language experts.
Okay, class. Vos está pronto.
Estamos prontos.
However you learn, Babbel makes it easy. Try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. BABBEL.com.
One day, I'm going to be asked to be the commencement speaker for a university, and I'm ready. I want you to know right now, reach out to me. I am ready to be that person. I'm ready to get the honorary degree. I don't have a college degree, and I will put on the what is it? Is it a robe? Is it a gown? It's a gown, and I'll get a cap, and I'll be ready and set. I bring this up because at the University of Maryland, the commencement speaker is Kermit. Tony Katz, that's me, by the way. 93 WIBC, good morning. Good to be with you. I can't make this up. I would have no capacity to make this up. It's Kermit. And I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do with this information. Like, if I go to the University of Maryland, is this it? Is this what I want? Kermit? Because I'm telling you right now, Jim Henson no longer alive. And it can't be as interesting without him, one would assume. So I don't know. I don't know if this is exciting or not. I do not know if people look at this and say, yeah, this is what I paid all that money for. I really don't. I'm trying to share the photo with the people on the live stream, and that's just working just terribly right there. I would assume that you want your commencement speaker to be somebody who has a piece of wisdom to impart, who has a story to share. I assume this is what you want. There's some kind of value that you get out of it. Kermit seems cheap, and I'm not anti-Kermit. I'm all about the Muppets. But doesn't it seem like you're kind of giving up? Now, they're saying it honors the 65th graduation anniversary of Jim Henson, who got a BS in home economics from the campus in 1960. Still, I don't know. Again, not anti-Kermit, nor anti-Miss Piggy. Kind of anti-Fozzie. He's a little annoying. But everybody else I'm fine with. Just quite all right. Quite good. Someone asked, tell me Kermit hasn't gone woke. It's the University of Maryland. Of course Kermit has gone woke. Also, tickets are, I don't know what happened in the past week, but tickets are selling for a Trump and American Reset in 3 Bourbons, Kokomo, Indiana. A look back at Trump's first 100 days, presented by Flederman Von Riest, R-I-E-S-T-E, vonriest.com, and Laser Precision Marksmanship Club, laserpmc.com. I was up there yesterday just taking a look at the scene and how I want things organized. Get your tickets. Get your tickets, because, a couple weeks ago, I wasn't sure how everything was going to go. We were selling at a slow clip, but okay. Hey, it happens. We're in Kokomo. We're a little further away from everybody. I understand it. Now I'm like, are we going to get to sell out? Because now we're on that trajectory. Very excited. Really, really appreciative. Tickets.TonyKatz.com. Going to be a fantastic night with all of the bourbon, with the food from Big Hoffa's Barbecue. It's going to be sensational. The cigars, I would not let you down, people. I will not. It's going to be amazing. Tickets.TonyKatz.com. Trump and American Reset in 3 Bourbons. You're getting your money's worth. Normally you would say, or your money back, but let's not be ridiculous, okay? It's going to be a great time. Tickets.TonyKatz.com. Tony Katz, that's me, 93 WIBC. Good morning. You have unclaimed property, and people are discovering there's a way to get it back. That's IndianaUnclaimed.gov. Now, this is your money. It's somebody was trying to get a last paycheck back to you, or they were getting a money order back to you, or there was a refund that was due you. You didn't even know about it, and they couldn't find you. So they sent it to the Attorney General, and the Attorney General set up IndianaUnclaimed.gov so you can get your cash fast, easy, free. Just put in a little information. Next thing you know, you'll see what belongs to you. I am now having friends text me, check out my check, see how much I got back, because I went to IndianaUnclaimed.gov. It's so easy to use. 1 in 7 Americans has unclaimed property. And we're talking about dollars here. We're not talking about homes or cars or storage lockers or anything like that. There's over $800 million waiting to be claimed. So go get your money. Go to IndianaUnclaimed.gov or text money to 46220. That's the word money to 46220. IndianaUnclaimed.gov. Go get your cash.
In the Matt Bear Tournament of Traffic, it's win and go home.
It's taken a lot of work to get here. You just want to advance through the field.
All right, traffic is really backing up on the south.
And to do that, you've got to drive the lanes.
2 vehicle crash blocking the left and center lanes.
You guys know this. You've got to find the openings and take your shots.
Updating your traffic bracket. Mornings and afternoons.
Prepare.
Construction backups brutal. Watch for the zone.
March Matt Bear Traffic Madness is on 93 WIBC.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline nasal spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultrafine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy,
We need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Traffic on the 5s and Matt Bear in the WIBC Traffic Center. What's going on?
All right, Tony, northeast side, northbound 69 is jammed up from 465 interchange up to 82nd Street. And this backup extends back to 75th Street now on northbound 465. We do have a crash reported in this area, and we're keeping an eye on it for certain. Looking at Madison County, northbound 69 between State Road 9 and State Road 67 crash on the right shoulder. A little bit of a slowdown going through there now. Carmel, the ramp from Meridian Street, northbound Meridian to westbound 465 still shut down because of construction. And southbound 31 Carmel, stop and go traffic 111th down to 106th Street. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Spring's here. It is time for a new patio. Indy Decorative Concrete is offering free demolition. The offer ends April 30th. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com for details. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
36 degrees in the American Standard Heating Weather Center. The time is 6:46.
Meanwhile, at Xfinity.
So, influencer life going well?
Oh, yeah. I'm up to 32 followers.
Oh, that's something.
Yeah, posting my tap dancing videos is easier than ever because we engineered Xfinity Internet with 99.99% network reliability.
Plus, Xfinity Mobile with Wi-Fi Power Boost gives you ultra-fast Wi-Fi at home and on the go. But wait, tap dancing? You don't tap dance.
Hey, what I lack in skill, I make up with passion.
Do more of what you love and love how fast you do it with Xfinity Internet and mobile. Now through April 17th, get 300 megabit Xfinity Internet and one unlimited mobile line together for $30 a month for 1 year and save $1,000 in your first year over Verizon and AT&T. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Requires paperless billing and auto-pay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply. Savings compared to Verizon 5G Internet plus one unlimited welcome line and AT&T Internet 300 plus one unlimited starter SL line. Xfinity Internet required. Actual speeds vary. Reduced speeds after 30 gigabits of usage per line. Data thresholds and actual savings vary.
Denny Smith here for Sundown Gardens and Miss M's Home and Garden. Nursery stock is arriving daily at both locations are filling up. Come shop early and save. 20% off all container trees and shrubs in stock now at both Sundown Gardens in Westfield and Miss M's Home and Garden in Bargersville. Their gift shops are full of spring color. Sundown Gardens at 186th Street and Spring Mill Road in Westfield. Miss M's Home and Garden on State Road 135 just south of Whiteland Road in Bargersville. Stop in and see them this week.
Looking for a great deal on a new Lincoln? Come to Tom Roush Lincoln. Select 2024 Lincoln Navigators now $15,000 off and get 0% for 72 months. How about an all-new 2024 Lincoln Nautilus now $6,000 off with rates starting at 4.9% for 60 months. We look forward to seeing you at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers.
Lincoln Navigator MSRP 104,825. Lincoln Nautilus MSRP 57,785. Offers good through March 31st, 2025. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
Addiction. It's hard on those who struggle with it, but those who love the addict need support too. Matt Bear and Ryan Hedrick provide help and hope with supporting sobriety. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and on WIBC.com.
So there is legislation in the General Assembly right now. And the legislation is about keeping men who claim to be women out of sports in college. Rational stuff. Men should not be in women's sports. And it is outrageous to think that there are people still out there who believe that somehow this is okay. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC, good morning. Great to be here. Great to be with you. It is outrageous that there are people out there who think that somehow a man can claim to be a woman, a boy can claim to be a girl, and play in these sports, and that's what's decent. House Bill 1041. There were amendments brought up in the Senate, right? Because all that House stuff is now in the Senate to be looked at, and all that Senate stuff is in the House to be looked at. That's how it works. And this was the reporting from WTHR, and they had the quote from Senator Fadi Kadora, Democrat from District 30, who thinks the language in the legislation should be eliminated altogether.
Amendments. One of those amendments from Democratic State Senator Fadi Kadora called for eliminating language in the bill altogether.
If this policy moves forward and trans kids are not able to play professionally, then what is the alternative for them? Are we considering them less than humans?
With all due respect, Senator, are you out of your mind? That's your argument? Let me allow yourself, or this is what you're saying, allow me to be as just ridiculous, heartstring, emotional pablum as possible, and I'll put that out there. That's really going to get people? Nobody is saying less than human. We are saying that boys are not girls and girls are not boys. We're recognizing women. Your argument is if you don't let men play against women, you're saying they're less than human? You should be ashamed of yourself. If this is the argument from the Democratic Party in Indiana, best of luck winning elections in the future. I have not had run-ins with Senator Kadora. I've agreed with, disagreed with. It's fine. This is insulting, ridiculous, childlike, nonsense pablum. You don't have an argument. You don't have a take. You don't even have a stake. What is this? Less than human. You should be ashamed of yourself because that statement is less than honorable, less than decent. But he continues.
That was the question Democratic State Senator Fadi Kadora had for other lawmakers on the Senate's Education and Career Development Committee. Kadora proposed an amendment to eliminate the language in House Bill 1041 that would ban transgender women from playing on women's college sports teams in Indiana. Instead, Kadora's amendment called for a study committee to look at what he called gaps in services for the state's LGBTQ+ students.
If this bill is truly about not discriminating, then why are we excluding some students and including others?
You mean women? You mean girls? Why are we including girls? Sir, you are so on the wrong side of any part of this argument. It's really shameful. Women and girls are allowed to play against other women and girls and compete against other women and girls and should not be erased by men. And when I say men, I'm not talking about the boys who think they're girls or the men who think they're women. I'm talking about you, who thinks it's okay to erase women in sports by making the claim that if somehow you don't let these people play for the decisions they've made, you're treating them as less than human. They made a decision, and that decision does not apply to other people, and they should not be forced to live with it, which is exactly what you're saying. It's insulting. It's despicable. What it is you're saying. You should be ashamed of what it is you've just said. You should be ashamed that you would actually believe it. Look at your party and tell them point blank, sorry, the L, the G, and the B have nothing to do with the T. That's the issue. This isn't LGBTQ. Cut it out. This is about gender dysphoria. This is about trying to erase women. And the answer is we don't feed into mental illness and we're not erasing women. You're just wrong. We're not agreeing to disagree. You are wrong. You deserve 10,000 Hoosiers at your doorstep at your office telling you you're wrong. Stop it with this nonsense kind of legislation and tell your party that this is a losing subject. Women deserve to be able to be women, and you can't make the change because you can't look at your party and say, my gosh, we're on the wrong side of this. We've allowed these progressives to run roughshod over us, and we can't even recognize reality anymore. Nonsense. I mean, full on embarrassing. If I was running against you for office, this is the clip I would play all day. I don't know how you come back from that. Truly don't. Matt Baer, he has got traffic. He's a heck of a guy. And I will admit to you that I'm so much more bothered by this statement from Senator Kadora. And I'm going to come back to it because I think I can explain it in a far better way. I think that was more emotional than even I needed. I listened to that and I'm like, this is just as twisted as it gets. And this is today's Indiana Democratic Party. Matt Barris traffic.
Stall on the exit from northbound 465 to northbound 69. It's blocking the right lane and causing a slowdown back to East 56th Street. Crash Madison County northbound 69 between State Road 9 and State Road 67. It's blocking the right shoulder. Southbound 31 jammed up right now before 116th Street down to 106. Also in Carmel, the ramp from northbound Meridian to westbound 465 still shut down because of construction. Looking at southbound 65 into the north split, looks pretty good right now as you make your way down from 29th Street to Meridian Penn. Northbound side just a little bit slow coming out of the north split up to West Street. A reminder, construction started overnight in Hancock County big time. This is I-70 in Greenfield. Looking at the entrance and exit at State Road 9, those ramps are now closed, those two ramps, and they should reopen around June. We are talking about the entrance ramp from 9 to westbound 70 closed for 70 days, and then the exit ramp from westbound 70 to State Road 9 closed for 90 days. Also checking out westbound 70 right now, that's in a crossover pattern. This started overnight as well from the Greenfield Rest area for about 5 miles to around the Fortville Pike County Road 200 West area. That means the westbound side is now on the eastbound side, as the traffic configuration will last until October when the whole 70 project in Hancock is done. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Spring's here and it's time for a new patio. Indy Decorative Concrete is offering free demolition. Offer ends April 30th. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com for details. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the fives. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Hey, Pat Sullivan here for Hope Plumbing. It's basketball season in Indiana, and while teams are making it drain on the court, Hope Plumbing is making it drain in your home with a $49 mainline snaking special. Now is the time to get your main lines checked before spring has sprung and it's too late. Don't wait. Call Hope Plumbing today at 641-HOPE. 641-HOPE, hopeplumbing.com, and let's make it drain.
Blood, sweat, tears. At Bill Estes, we know it takes hard work and years of doing the right thing to build a business people can depend on. That's why we don't make empty promises and expect your trust. Estes earns it. From Ford F-150s and Toyota Tacomas to Ram 1500s and Chevy Silverados, we have the trucks you'll love at prices you can believe in. But don't just take our word for it. Your trust means something. Estes earns it. BillEstes.com.
From a fast break to recovery, Indiana hospitals are here for every Hoosier, regardless of their ability to pay. That's why we're teaming up with legislators on a winning playbook to lower costs and protect access to care across our communities. Because good policy doesn't leave anyone on the sidelines. Learn more at HoosierLifeline.com.
Paid for by the Indiana Hospital Association.
Ready to build your custom dream home? Check out Joyner Homes in Greenfield. They've built hundreds of homes across central Indiana. Joyner Homes builds homes that have character, like the homes of yesterday, but have modern features. Character-rich features with exposed wood beams, stone fireplaces, custom build-ins, and smart design. Joyner Homes has a full in-house team that includes architectural and design specialists that will be with you every step to ensure your vision comes to life. See pricing, floor plans, and photos at JoynerHomes.com.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Hey, this is Spencer Thompson at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. Are you wanting comfort at half the price? Now's the time because Lazy Boy and Smith Brothers are 50% off with extra discounts for cash. Thinking about getting outside soon? Berlin Gardens and Pollywood Outdoor Furniture are up to 20% off during the early season sale. Hurry in to Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. Sale ends Monday with free delivery.
Coming up in 2 minutes, severe weather is headed your way. I'll give you a timeline. A project that may alter your travel plans Hoosier political leaders say progress is being made on education, and whose likeness is on a new banner outside of Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Those stories and more coming up after Fox News from the Technology Recyclers Studios, 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It is 7 o'clock.
Pushing back on the Signal group chat controversy. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
I think it's all a witch hunt, that's all. I think it's a witch hunt. I wasn't involved with it. I wasn't there.
And President Trump says the military strikes being discussed in that chat hitting Houthi rebels in Yemen were unbelievably successful. But the issue remains how a journalist was mistakenly invited into that chat. Fox's Jennifer Griffin reports from the Pentagon.
Current and former military officials tell me these operational details shared in an unclassified setting would be considered a breach in national security, often resulting in punishment for the service member who releases them. The texts were posted by Defense Secretary Hegseth 2 hours before the airstrikes began.
Now, Democrats want a full investigation. Senator Roger Wicker, chair of the Armed Services Committee, is calling for an expedited Inspector General review. Days before reciprocal tariffs take effect targeting countries that charge for American exports, President Trump announces a new one.
What we're going to be doing is a 25% tariff on all cars that are not made in the United States.
Auto parts that are imported will also face that tariff starting April 3rd, and the president says it'll boost U.S. manufacturing long term, but it could lead to more retaliatory tariffs from Canada and the European Union. More legal setbacks for the president. An appeals court has refused to block a judge's order that tens of thousands of fired federal workers be rehired. Another appeals court kept in place a block on using the Alien Enemies Act to deport migrants without hearings.
The court declined to issue a stay on the lower court's temporary restraining order, noting due process protection concerns for those targeted for deportation.
That's Fox's Chanley Painter. And that judge had ordered 2 flights of alleged Venezuelan gang members turn around, but they did not. And Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem visited the jail in El Salvador where they are now housed.
If you come to our country illegally, this is one of the consequences you could face.
America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
What's headed your way? It's 36 degrees in downtown Indianapolis with a clear radar. Your high today, 60. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 7:02. Rain and wind and even tornadoes could happen on Sunday, says Cody Moore, a forecaster at the National Weather Service.
The chances for severe weather definitely ramp up over the next couple of weeks as the pattern certainly supports it. So on Sunday, just make sure you have the means of getting watches and warnings, whether it's on your phone or TV. Make sure you're getting those up-to-date warnings.
And Moore says there's actually a chance for severe weather to happen earlier Friday into Saturday. If you're driving through Hancock County at any point in the next few months, then Matt Baer may have some information that you're interested in.
I-70 is back under construction in Hancock County.
Fresh, smooth pavement, resurfacing throughout the corridor, in addition to that added travel lane.
Last night, the entrance and exit ramps for westbound 70 began closing at State Road 9 for 70 to 90 days, respectively. The exit ramp closure will leave drivers a 20-mile stretch of interstate without an exit, beginning at Knightstown to Mount Comfort. Natalie Garrett of INDOT.
We realize that is painful for some. We ask drivers to be patient.
The I-70 project should completely wrap up late October. Matt Baer, WIBC Traffic.
Mexican mafia gang members are wanted by Indianapolis cops this morning. IMPD says they're searching for 2 men, and this has to do with the raids that happened last week when they took 7 people into custody. They're looking for a 16-year-old and another person, and they're wanted for multiple felony charges, including drug trafficking. Cutting the state income tax wouldn't happen automatically under a proposed law. The state's economy has to grow consistently. Chris Davis reports on why Democrats object to the plan.
Reducing the income tax for Hoosiers. That bill may become law this year, but the House Ways and Means Committee was still doing some haggling over the economic conditions that have to happen before the income tax can go down.
May I explain my vote? I wish I had the luxury in my personal life of cutting my future income without knowing what my future expenses were.
Representative Ed Delaney of Indianapolis. Some lawmakers feel the reduction in tax money coming in would hit the state budget too hard. Still, an amendment to make those tax cuts kick in easier passed 16-7. Chris Davis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Progress on education is what Hoosier political leaders say they're making. John Herrick reports on the additional progress that they'd like to get accomplished.
Indiana recently jumped to number 6 in the nation for reading proficiency, according to the National Assessment of Educational Progress Rankings. State Representative Jake Teshka of North Liberty is on the House Education Committee. He says he's proud of that ranking.
We want to make sure that our teachers and students have the tools and support that they need to achieve similar gains in math.
Which is why he helped draft a bill that would improve math education for advanced learners, at-risk students, and educators alike. It unanimously passed the House and is now being considered by the Senate. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
The Indianapolis 500 is right around the corner. Joseph Newgarden trying to make history by becoming the driver with the third straight title.
It's special, to see the banner, to everything that comes in to play when you win the race, all the little ceremonies, this is like a gift. It's the gift that keeps on giving, they say. So I can't wait to come back.
And Newgarden, speaking to Wish TV, he was at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Wednesday to unveil a new Indy 500 banner, which features his likeness and hangs outside of Gate 2. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com. At 7:05, traffic on the 5s. Good morning, Matt Bear.
What's happening, Ryan? Southbound 31 Carmel, stop traffic 116th Street past 111th. Heading up to Fishers this morning, northeast side, a stall on the exit from northbound 465 to northbound 69. Just a little slow on that exit ramp right now and backed up to East 56th Street. We are moving, however. Crash Madison County, northbound 69 between State Road 9 and State Road 67. It's on the right shoulder, and a slowdown on eastbound 70 around Indianapolis International. There is a crash on the shoulder. Traffic sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Marcus Bailey, Wish TV meteorologist. What do we know?
Hey, Tony, good morning on this Thursday. Starting off dry and mostly cloudy. We'll have a lot of dry hours this morning. I do see a return of some scattered light showers coming our way for the afternoon hours. Today's high around 56. We'll continue with rain chances. Maybe a few thunderstorms as we go through the overnight. Tonight we're also going to be more mild, a low only down to 50. Friday, some morning showers. That should be gone by lunchtime. I think we're in good shape for the afternoon. We're good for all the games for Sweet 16 matchups tomorrow night, and very warm. Friday's high 77. Saturday partly cloudy in the morning, showers late, a high of 70. And Sunday we're tracking those strong to severe thunderstorms for the afternoon and evening hours. Sunday's high 68.
That is Marcus Bailey of Wish TV. Marcus, appreciated. 36 degrees in the American Standard Heating Weather Center. The time is 7:07. I take a back seat to absolutely no one when it comes to my disdain for the Secretary of State, Diego Morales, whom I saw at numerous events when he was running for office. Seemed like a guy who was serious about making this happen, was working hard, was at the event, trying to get people activated, and then got into office. And, well, the Secretary of State, Diego Morales, hired his brother-in-law.
He did what? Look up idiot in the dictionary. You know what you'll find?
Picture me?
No. The definition of the word idiot, which you are.
God, Karen, you're so stupid.
What are your qualifications?
Take his qualifications and then shove them somewhere. Who hires their brother-in-law?
That is the most idiotic thing I've ever heard in my life.
As I saw it, a firing offense from the word go. And how much money is the brother-in-law making? And Morales doesn't like to answer questions, it seems. If Diego Morales is not aware that he comes across as a smarmy guy, as a shifty guy, as a guy who is trying to get one over on you, if he doesn't realize this, he's the only one. Everybody sees this. Did I say hello? Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. And then you learn that he's in India. You're like, what in the world is he doing in India? And then you see, and Rob Kendall posted this, that Raju Chintala, who has run for Congress in the 5th District, he's part of the Hamilton County Republicans, he's got a thing up on his website about becoming an EB-5 immigrant investor and getting your visa and what the investment is. And he's got this post that he's going to be in Hyderabad until March 29th, which is in India. And he views himself, based on his own statements, I believe it is, as an advisor to the Secretary of State. So, okay. Diego Morales, the Secretary of State, is in India. This is some kind of push to bring more business to the state of Indiana. The first question would be, is this what the Secretary of State does? The second question would be, does the Secretary of State clear anything with the governor, or do they act in a fully independent way in the state of Indiana? Third, for just one more point, who paid for the trip? Why is the Secretary of State the one we're looking to bring business in? I don't think that's run elections and make sure that you count on time. No one looks to Diego Morales to be the guy to bring us the business. Would you trust him? Would you? Between Diego Morales and Joe Hogsett, I have no idea which guy would make me want to immediately wash my hands. Then again, I wouldn't shake hands with either guy. And I have with Diego before. Those days have come to an earth-shattering end. It's a very weird story. It's very odd. I'm not going to tell a private citizen if they're helping people engage investment in the United States that they can't. If Raju Chintala is doing that, okay. As long as it's, on the up and up with whatever you have to do on the federal side to make that happen, sure. I have no arguments. No. Going to get us the business from India? I got a hard time with that. And I have a hard time trusting he could do it. And I don't want him to do it. So there's a whole bunch of stuff right there. Tony Katz, that's me, by the way. 93 WIBC, good morning.
For over 20 years, Howard Bailey Financial has been helping families just like yours gain clarity, confidence, and purpose with personal and practical financial strategies. And now, we're offering our full suite of services on Rangeline Road, right in the heart of Carmel, making it even easier to meet with our experienced team face-to-face. Whether you're planning for retirement, navigating life transitions, or just need guidance for your financial future, we're here to walk with you every step of the way. Text CARMEL to 888-262-1104 to download a free retirement resource. Howard Bailey Financial, helping you turn hope into a plan and dreams into reality. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
For the deal that can't be beat, you got to get over to Andy Moore Ford. Start the spring strong with a new Andy Moore Ford. You can elevate that journey of yours with a new 2024 Ford Expedition Platinum. You could save over $15,000 off MSRP. The high-output 3.5-liter EcoBoost, up to 400 horsepower, commanding performance. I'm driving one. It's fantastic. And if you need something just a little smaller but could still do all the hauling, the new 2024 Ford Edge SE. Save over $6,000 $6,500 off MSRP and get more to your door. Simply purchase your vehicle online and they'll deliver directly to you. Andy Moore Ford has got the entire selection. And if you're looking to sell or trade your current vehicle, Andy Moore Ford will pay top dollar for your used vehicle, even if you don't buy theirs. Andy Moore Ford in Plainfield, 2713 East Main Street in Plainfield, or online at Andy Moore Ford. That's MOHR.
I love Andy.
AndyMooreFord.com. Traffic on the 5s and Matt Bear, WIBC Traffic Center. What's going on?
Looking at southbound 31 Tony, stop traffic in Carmel, 116th Street down to 106. Inbound is 65. Good to go right now from 29th to Meridian Penn. And a reminder for Greenfield drivers, the entrance and exit ramps at State Road 9 and westbound 70 are closed until June. And westbound 70 now in a crossover pattern starting at the rest area of Greenfield and running for about 5 miles. So that's all part of the construction that was laid down overnight out in Greenfield, Hancock County. Traffic sponsored by Indiana Foundation Services. Water damaging your home? Contact Indiana Foundation Service, the basement concrete foundation experts. Get your free inspection today. Learn more at IndianaFoundationService.com. Licensed in all states where work is performed. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
We've got 36 degrees in the American Standard Heating Weather Center. The time is 7:16.
Military veterans and active duty service members, you could become a certified cyber warrior with just 12 weeks of training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, and IT pros with these skills often enjoy abundant opportunity and a great lifestyle. Protect our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline nasal spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Supreme Court making a very interesting ruling on frame and receivers, the frame and receiver rule as it's known. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. A 7-2 decision, the court upholding an ATF rule. Under the Biden administration, treating unfinished frames and receivers and do-it-yourself gun-making kits as fully functional firearms subject to federal law. Now, there's a larger issue here about whether or not this is a conversation about the Second Amendment or the Administrative Procedures Act. And at that moment, I can feel eyes glazing over. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Great to be here. Guy Relford will join us in the next hour. The gun guy, Second Amendment attorney, relfordlaw.com. And we will break this down and what it means. Gorsuch writing the opinion, Alito and Thomas, the only dissent. Exactly what do we think now of these justices that Trump has put on the court? And in many cases, sometimes the decision doesn't necessarily mean what we think it means. In that, if we're looking at this from the idea of how a piece of legislation is written or how a regulation is written, that is different than whether or not we can go at this, or should we, utilizing the Second Amendment and vice versa. That's what we're going to talk to Guy Relford about. In the meantime, the popcorn moment. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. It's a story you need to hear to believe. Then grab your popcorn, because there is more. Hope to see you in Kokomo. Trump and American Reset in 3 bourbons. That will be April 17th. Tickets.TonyKatz.com. Going to be an incredible night. We're going to go through over these first 100 days because they've been out of control. There's so much to cover. The highs, the lows, what comes next, the insane media reaction to it. Your Teslas will be safe in the parking lot. Tickets.TonyKatz.com. We hope. I have security. Have no fear. Tickets.TonyKatz.com. I want to see you there. Laser Precision Marksmanship Club, our sponsor, laserpmc.com. You got to check out what they do. And Flederman Von Riest, watches assembled right here in Indiana. Happy to be their brand ambassador. Von Riest, R-I-E-S-T-E, vonriest.com. You can go there, or you can find them at an authorized dealer like PA Jewelers at the Farmhouse, our sponsor out there in Brownsburg. PA Jewelers at the Farmhouse. Go check them out. I had a series of things that I wanted to get to, but of course, I needed to put a bow on this whole signal insanity, where you had the defense secretary, you had the secretary of state, you had the vice president, you had the national security advisor, director of national intelligence, CIA director, all on this text chain through an app called Signal, S-I-G-N-A-L, and this reporter, Jeffrey Goldberg, got added to it. So here are the component pieces. Whoever added Jeffrey Goldberg, I think, should get fired. This was done by a staffer for the National Security Advisor, Mike Waltz. Fire the dude. Fire the woman. Whoever it was, fire them. There is a guy they've put out there as this is the one who did it. I'll wait for a little more reporting. There was no reason for a reporter to be on that call or on that text chain. I'm not surprised that these things happen. Signal is an app that's supposed to be encrypted. Now, does that mean it's encrypted enough to have these kinds of conversations? Maybe not. The Biden administration gave guidance in using Signal during that last term. Were they wrong to use it? I think we could have something else. I think we could create something else. I think we're smart people. And maybe you don't use an app like that. Maybe. Were war plans discussed? No. In terms of deep, heavy details? No. Was enough discussed that you could be like, what are we doing, guys? Yes. I think that's fine. Is anyone going to get fired? No. Do people have to be fired? No. Do the Democrats want someone to be fired? Yes. Why? They've got nothing else. They don't have a policy. And they do not have an argument regarding safety and security. If they wanted that argument, they should have demanded that Lloyd Austin be fired for going AWOL. It's hard to take them seriously, and I don't. And the screaming for Pete Hegseth and others to be fired is nothing more than screaming, and that's it. Pay it no mind, and you'll be all right. But here is the argument that MSNBC put forward, and they did it with John Brennan, the former CIA director, who is one of the people who said that the Hunter Biden laptop was nothing but Russian misinformation. He's been wrong on everything. And as we know, and people like Michael Walsh have done an extremely good job of discussing this, the CIA is as problematic as any other institution out there, and they act like they're the bee's knees. That's right, the bee's knees. This John Brennan is a terrible guy. The CIA has failed countless times and is in need of revision. And no, I don't listen to Brennan when it comes to the idea of how we should do things. But here on MSNBC, he's engaging a conversation of what happens when you don't have experienced intelligence professionals.
Intelligence is the lifeblood of our national security. It allows us to carry out successful operations, whether they be military, diplomatic, or intelligence operations. But it also is the intelligence that keeps our sources and methods secure, and it protects lives and saves lives. And if that intelligence is compromised because of the inexperience or cavalier attitude of individual, it puts so much at risk. It puts U.S. lives at risk. It puts our national security around the globe at risk because, again, intelligence is what feeds and fuels our national security apparatus, and it's clear that the individuals at the very top echelon of our national security infrastructure were not doing what they needed to do. And again, I think there were serious questions that were raised appropriately during the whole nomination and confirmation process, but unfortunately I think we are now seeing the results of this inexperience and the lack of credentials of people. And whatever credibility they might have had, I think they're quickly destroying it, particularly when they've been disparaging and denigrating Jeffrey Goldberg, who is a respected journalist. And he was trying to do the appropriate thing, which is to expose this big problem.
Jeffrey Goldberg is not a respected journalist. Jeffrey Goldberg is far from respected. What an unserious statement. But let's go to this idea of institutional knowledge. These people don't have the experience, and this is what happens. The experienced people told me that Russia was real. They told me that Hunter Biden's laptop was not real. That's what the experienced people did. You don't have an argument. Institutional knowledge matters, but when the institution was only interested in knowledge that could keep the institution in power for political purposes, for a political ideology, and try and keep other people from being the president, try and keep American voices from being heard, no. That's not valuable, and that has to go. And the institutional knowledge at that moment becomes nothing more than dust in the wind. We don't need it. Now, does that mean that mistakes won't be made? Oh, no, mistakes will be made. But since the Biden administration was okay with utilizing the Signal app, why would I now think that these people committed such a heinous crime and their inexperience did this? John Brennan's argument does not actually meet any standard, any test of believability. But if we're going to argue that these things do matter, that institutional knowledge matters, and I'm a believer in institutional knowledge, we have to ask ourselves if the institution is utilizing knowledge properly. And I'll put to you that the CIA and the vast majority of institutions haven't, because they've been interested in keeping the institution afloat and not doing the work. They've been interested in the ideology and not in the American citizen. So I think mistakes were made. I think putting Jeffrey Goldberg on that chain should result in a firing. I do. Absolutely. And I think Trump should be even harder on these people. And I don't know what he's doing behind the scenes. But lectured to by somebody as duplicitous as John Brennan, leave it to MSNBC to have the wrong part of the conversation every time. Matt Bear has traffic. What's up, Matthew?
Looking at the camera and a beautiful sunrise over Carmel right now, but we're seeing southbound 31 stop on the camera as well right now from 100. From Carmel Drive down to 106th Street because of a crash. Yeah, we're barely moving here. Roundabout looks great, though. Southbound 69 slow from 96 down to 82nd. And then a crash eastbound 70 by Indianapolis International. It's on the shoulder. And northbound 69 Madison County crash between State Road 9 and State Road 67 is blocking the right shoulder, causing a delay of about a half a mile. Inbound 69 slow from 106th Street down to 82nd. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Spring's here. It's time for a new patio. Indy Decorative Concrete is offering free demolition. Offer ends April 30th. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com for details. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Oh, yeah, nobody has more fun in the afternoon than we do. We're the Hammer and Nigel Show. We start at 3:06, biggest stories in Indy, Hammer and Nigel Madness, Rob Kendall off the rails, let's go.
Hoosiers are about hard work, loyalty, and pragmatism when it comes to our money. The fiduciary advisors at Trajan Wealth are these values to the core and are ready to prove it with a collaboration that meets you where you're at in life. Matt Bear here. Hey, call Trajan Wealth and meet the team. 317-899-8690 or visit TrajanWealth.com. Your first consultation is on them. Trajan Wealth is family-owned and led by Hoosier and veteran Jeff Jr. They're your investment teammates, ready to customize a portfolio that's about you only, your retirement hopes and dreams. They'll listen and give advice tailored to your situation. Call and schedule at 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com. Remember, your first consultation is on them. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement.
Hey, folks. Scott Wilson here from Wilson Farm Market. Even in winter, we're bringing you the best in farm fresh flavors. Stop in for our fresh salad bar, hot and crispy wing bar, and a cheese selection that is second to none. Got a sweet tooth? Our homemade pies, creamy fudge, and old-fashioned candy will hit the spot. Come see us on US 31 just north of Carmel. We're open every day 9 to 6. At Wilson Farm Market, we're all about fresh, local, and delicious. See you soon.
Looking for a great deal on a new Lincoln? Come to Tom Roush Lincoln. Select 2024 Lincoln Navigators, now $15,000 off, and get 0% for 72 months. How about an all-new 2024 Lincoln Nautilus, now $6,000 off with rates starting at 4.9% for 60 months. We look forward to seeing you at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers.
Lincoln Navigator MSRP 104,825. Lincoln Nautilus MSRP 57,785. Offers good through March 31st, 2025. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
Easy Cater. It's all the food for your workplace, all in one place. With over 100,000 restaurants nationwide on one platform. Whether you need food for company meetings or events, daily employee lunches, or your next lunch and learn, Easy Cater makes food for work, work. And it doesn't stop at lunch. With Easy Cater, you've got great breakfast options, snacks, treats, and more. Whenever and wherever work happens, Easy Cater's here to make the food happen. Order now at easycater.com.
Feeling the aches and pains of everyday life slowing you down? Introducing Blue Emu, America's #1 emu oil formula for pain relief. In a recent clinical trial, 91% of users saw improvement after using Blue Emu. Whether you're working hard, playing harder, or just staying active, Blue Emu penetrates deep to relieve joint and muscle pain fast. And best of all, you won't stink. Join the 91% who felt the difference. Find Blue Emu at your local retailer or online. Blue Emu works fast and you won't stink.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Heed the advice. It's 36 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. Your radar is clear. Your high today is 60. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 7:31. Tornadoes are possible this weekend as some pretty rough weather moves across the state.
Severe storms technically mean severe winds above 60 miles per hour. So the threat is certainly there for high winds like that whenever the storms pass through.
That's Cody Moore at the National Weather Service talking about what could be on Sunday. He says rain is in and out of the forecast Friday and Saturday. You may have heard that several federal judges have ruled some of President Trump's rulings unconstitutional.
A federal appeals court in D.C. is also blocking Trump's deportation flights of Venezuelan nationals, including alleged gang members of Tren de Aragua. The court declined to issue a stay on the lower court's temporary restraining order, while the lower court judge, James Boasberg, cited the need to better consider the merits of the case. The White House has vowed the administration will act swiftly to appeal these decisions to the Supreme Court.
That's Fox's Chanley Painter reporting. The Department of Justice is appealing a federal judge's decision that blocked the Trump administration's attempt to ban transgender people from serving in the military. Indiana recently jumped to 6th in the nation for reading proficiency, according to the National Assessment of Educational Progress rankings. State Representative Jake Teshka of North Liberty is on the House Education Committee. He says he's proud of that ranking.
We want to make sure that our teachers and students have the tools and support that they need to achieve similar gains in math.
Which is why he helped draft a bill that would improve math education for advanced learners, at-risk students, and educators alike. It unanimously passed the House and is now being considered by the Senate. Cutting the state income tax wouldn't happen automatically under a proposed law. The state's economy has to grow consistently. Chris Davis has more on why Democrats still object to that plan.
Reducing the income tax for Hoosiers. That bill may become law this year, but the House Ways and Means Committee was still doing some haggling over the economic conditions that have to happen before the income tax can go down.
May I explain my vote? I wish I had the luxury in my personal life of cutting my future income without knowing what my future expenses were.
Representative Ed Delaney of Indianapolis. Some lawmakers feel the reduction in tax money coming in would hit the state budget too hard. Still, an amendment to make those tax cuts kick in easier passed 16-7. Chris Davis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Lady Gaga will hit the road this summer for a world tour. There's no telling if she'll be in Indianapolis, but the tour she's going on is called the Mayhem Ball. It will visit 6 North American cities, including Seattle, New York City, Miami, Toronto, and Chicago. Sports on WIBC is brought to you by Ball State Athletics. Visit ballstatesports.com. The Pacers lost to the Los Angeles Lakers last night after LeBron James hit a game-winning tip-in. Guard Tyrese Halliburton spoke about why he was left watching on the bench while he was standing at the scorer's table as the game ended.
Yeah, of course I want to be on the floor, but I trust his decision-making, and I'm riding with whatever decision he's making, and when I'm on the floor, I think he's riding whatever decision I'm making. So it's ebbs and flows, and I'm sure if we could have it back, we'd probably want to call a timeout there.
And of course, Halliburton talking about his head coach Rick Carlisle. Benedict Mathurin led the way with 23 points. The aforementioned Halliburton had a season-high 18 assists. And the Pacers are in the nation's capital tonight to play the Washington Wizards. The Sweet 16 gets underway tonight with 4 games. The Midwest region tips off tomorrow here in Indianapolis at Lucas Oil Stadium. Purdue plays Houston. The winner gets either Tennessee or Kentucky in the Elite Eight. Minor League Baseball season gets underway tomorrow. The Indianapolis Indians take on the St. Paul Saints on the road. Major League Baseball gets underway today with the Reds hosting the Giants. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com. At 7:35, traffic on the 5s. How the roads looking, Matt Bear?
We have a crash in Madison County, northbound 69 between State Road 9 and State Road 236, right lane blocked. We have a semi in a ditch and traffic stop and go back to State Road 9. Looking at southbound 31, that is a crash. And it's at 106th Street. Traffic is backed up all the way to Main Street in Carmel. Bad delay there. Traffic is barely moving as we check out the NDOT Jam Cam. Eastbound 70 crash in Plainfield between Ronald Reagan Parkway and Indianapolis International. And eastbound 70 slows from Tibbs Avenue to Belmont. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Spring's here and it's time for a new patio. Indy Decorative Concrete is offering free demolition. Offer ends April 30th. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com for details. I'm Matt Bear on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
We've got 36 degrees in the American Standard Heating Weather Center. The time is 7:36.
Spring's here and it's time for a new patio. Indy Decorative Concrete is offering free demolition. Offer ends April 30th. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com for details.
The Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division has over $800 million just waiting to be claimed. Text MONEY to 46220 or visit IndianaUnclaimed.gov to claim yours today.
Whenever I'm out wandering, chasing a rainbow dream, I often stop and think about a place I've never seen.
Today on the Marketplace, it's a nostalgia twofer. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Great to be with you. The Marketplace, brought to you by the Office of the Attorney General. Visit IndianaUnclaimed.gov to see if the Attorney General's office has money for you. It's your money. They want to get it back to you. IndianaUnclaimed.gov. During downtime, I'm clearing my head. I'm getting ready for what's next on the show. I find myself on Facebook Marketplace. I'm looking at stuff, odd stuff, strange stuff, interesting stuff, weird stuff. I buy things, I sell things, I share things with you. A full listing over at WIBC.com. And today, full nostalgia day, and it's a twofer on the nostalgia. First, let me show you what I found today. Matt Bear, you as I believe a child of the Gen X, I believe you are a Gen Xer.
Yeah, Zillennial. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay. What did you just say?
Zillennial. Zillennial. I'm a Gen Xer / millennial. Yeah.
It's not. What?
Zillennial with a Z.
With an X.
With ZXE.
It's not how you say. Anyway. The Gen X generation was a generation that was taking things and asking, how can we make this smaller? How can we fit it in our pocket? How can we go for a walk with it? So video games became the Game Boy. Music became the Walkman. But did you have, Matt Bear, a Casio Pocket TV?
No. No, I didn't have a Subway to watch it on.
This is... I didn't have a Subway to watch it on?
No.
There was no Subway in Richmond, Indiana?
Rochester, Indiana. And there wasn't one there either.
Chester, I don't know why I always... You know what? Right. Screw it. You're from Richmond. I've decided that you're a child of Richmond. There were no Subways in Chester?
No, the chest didn't have the subway. No.
Shocking, I say.
The chest, no mask, no red line.
This is well, you got lucky there. This is the Casio Pocket Television EV600. And they tell me it's vintage. It has a TFT active matrix.
Oh.
That's right. It's powered by 4 AA batteries. And it works only with UHF and VHF, which is weird because everything now is digital. You're going to need a digital box. So you can't even see channels with it. You can't see anything with this.
Fantastic.
But you would carry this around and you could watch TV wherever it is you were. I'm telling you right now, Gen Z, you have no idea what Gen X went through. All these different devices. You have a phone and you don't even call people with it. You do all these other things. You watch TV, you listen to music, you're whatever it is that you're doing over there. You don't understand what people like Matt Bear had to go through.
It's tragic.
It was tragic. And he didn't have the cool sport Walkman that would, it would be like a clamshell and then it would clip over and lock in a place and then he could go for a jog. No, he had the boring Walkman that would stop playing music after about 2.5 minutes.
I had a portable compact disc that would skip every time I jogged.
Oh, did you have the compact disc player that you put in your car and you had an adapter that went into the cassette deck?
Yes. Yes, I did. I did. I loved it.
That these people don't understand. My wife recently threw out like 30 CDs because no car has a CD player anymore.
Wicked.
She's like, this is my youth, but I can't hear it now. So she went through, because we still have one in the house, listened to everything, tossed it all. It's like, there are no CD players anymore.
Now I can't listen to Huey Lewis' Power of Love.
And look how much worse off you are.
I know.
Matt Bear, is this piece of nostalgia worth $20?
Oh, I'd ruin my credit for it, Tony. No. I mean, you can't even put it on the mantle. It's not even clean. They didn't even dust it up before they put it on their very dirty table here. F for presentation, C for the item.
Right. F for presentation. We're going to start rating these posts on presentation because people don't care at all.
Better be on.
Like we have seen posts that are just true on crime scenes. Just horrible, horrible stuff. This could go in a museum, and I know that Newfields has this stuff, and maybe if they would work on being a museum and not a factory of ideology, that would be better. But I said to you, Matt Bear, I said, remind me.
Yeah, yes, Tony. What are we going to talk about during the marketplace that you asked me to remind you of at 6:10?
Oh, I'm so glad you reminded me. Thank you.
You're welcome.
A couple days ago, we spoke about a vintage Market Square Arena T-shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Yellow T-shirt, Market Square Arena on it. Turns out it was made by the shop Indie back in 2012. Very, very cool. It's in a size medium, but it runs small, which means it's perfect for Matt Bear. Matthew, I bought it today.
Whoa!
I bought the shirt today. They reached out to me yesterday. I bought it. They were willing to meet me for a cigar at Blend, and I'm like, you are adorable. I'll just pay for it here. And I paid for it, and it is being shipped to 40 Monument Circle.
Oh, that's a beautiful thing.
When the shirt comes in, and you can see it over there at the marketplace at WIBC.com, you have to put it on, and you have to, on this show, on the live stream, and you have to model it for the people.
I would be happy to.
Show midriff.
I'm very insecure, but Carl, I'm going to show my midriff. I'm going to show my scars. No, I look forward to it. It's an awesome shirt. It's very vintage. It has some street cred to it, and I'm going to feel a little bit hipster wearing it.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry. We've seen you. You're a lot hipster.
Yeah, craft coffee.
And Eloise is asking what took so long to buy it. I reached out to ask a question, and then I said, can I just have you mail it? Because that wasn't what they were going to do. They were going to do like some kind of porch pickup. And they're like, sure, we'll mail it. And so we had to work that out, the shipping and everything else. And I purchased it for you. So
all this for
you're
me.
welcome.
Hey, Tony, you couldn't come down yourself and deliver it to Matt?
Ooh, good point.
Nope. By the way, Matt answered first. Everybody knew the answer.
No.
Only you, producer Carl, couldn't figure that one out.
Decade of excellence here.
Yep. We know it works. We like each other.
Sometimes we have a handshake, but you won't be seeing that on camera.
No. Maybe a wave. Maybe a hey, buddy.
Yeah, good seeing you, Tony. I'll go that way.
It's going to be good. We look forward to seeing it on you, Matt Bear, who has got. We're you know what? A quick break, and then Matt Bear with traffic. Stay right there. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning.
Life moves fast.
Another new directive from Donald Trump.
President Trump will not be deterred to make our federal government more efficient.
So does the news.
We expect those meetings to take place very soon.
Decisions made today.
I'm not a big fan of the Atlantic.
No threats to national security.
Could impact you tomorrow.
Accountability and transparency.
What's next?
You never know what's going to happen.
Need to know what happened.
We're already tracking it. Stay in the know while you're on the go on 93 WIBC.
Traffic on the 5s, and Matt Bear, what are you doing?
Southbound 31 in Carmel is looking a little bit more normal now from 131st Street down to 106. We had a crash. We weren't moving. Now we are moving quickly at the front of the line, so that is an improvement. Looking at eastbound 70 between Ronald Reagan Parkway and Indianapolis International, crash on the shoulder. Inbound 69 slows from 106th Street down to 82nd. Northbound 465 on the east side, slow roll after 70 up to 56. And northwest side, northbound 465, stop and go traffic 86th Street up to 865. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Spring's here and it's time for a new patio. Indy Decorative Concrete is offering free demolition. Offer ends April 30th. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com for details. I'm Matt Bear on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
We've got 36 degrees in the American Standard Heating Weather Center. The time is 7:46.
This is the most exciting time of the year, and we want you to go all the way, even if your team doesn't. March on, Indiana, in a Hubler quality pre-owned vehicle. Shop any of Hubler's 13 locations and choose from over 2,000 vehicles, including Chevys, Fords, Toyotas, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and many more. All makes, all models, certified vehicles, luxury vehicles, even the hard-to-find ones. Every Hubler Q-certified vehicle is covered by a 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty, plus a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report. Hubler's got you covered. Busted brackets not included. For over 2,000 vehicles, visit drivehubler.com or any of our 13 locations.
Hubler's got you covered. Cover me.
Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
Everyone's talking about Galaxy Concrete Coating and their transformation, like your neighbor Mike.
Well, the local company that we used first was highly recommended by people in our neighborhood. We did not know until after it didn't work on our floor. It just healed up like a cheap suit. And so my wife says, we got to do something. And so she started looking around on the internet and she found Galaxy.
Lots of styles to choose from, 4 times stronger than epoxy, and it comes with a lifetime warranty.
We got Galaxy out here. They got here at about 8 o'clock in the morning and they finished up at 6 o'clock that night. Other than having a beautiful garage floor, you couldn't tell they were here. Just did a wonderful job on it.
Galaxy Concrete Coatings works for any area like patios, garage floors, driveways, and around pools.
Still looks fantastic, and anybody that visits our house, that's all they want to talk about. I mean, they just can't believe how nice the garage floor looks.
Click on GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com and remember to like us on Facebook, GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com. We are out of this world. Come on, Indy. Don't use the spring to paint your house year after year. Do what Deanna did. She called Rhino Shield.
I was noticing some cracks and the paint's faded. I was like, okay, I think I should get my house painted. So my neighbor had a Rhino Shield placard in the yard. And after they were finished, I was just, wow. With the warranty and everything, it just seemed silly not to go that route.
The ceramic coating of Rhino Shield is specifically formulated for our climate.
So the Rhino Shield crew came out. Nothing was damaged in the process. I was very happy. They just didn't leave a mess. You couldn't even tell they were there. And the house looked so different. It just looked like a new home.
Backed by a 25-year transferable warranty. And now get the protection of Rhino Shield for 15% off the regular price.
Rhino Shield, I think it increases the value and the curb appeal of your home. Definitely worth it.
Here's Rhino Shield's Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino.
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit NoTimeToWait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Hammer and Nigel here, inviting you to join us as we kick off the weekend every Friday around 5:45 with Beer Sample Friday, brought to you by our friends at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
True Green. Get a golf course quality lawn for less than you think. Sign up at TrueGreen.com. That's TrueGreen.com. True Green, the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour.
You want to listen all day to WIBC, but you don't always have time. Don't worry. There's a podcast for that. The WIBC Mashup. Daily highlights from your favorite hosts, Tony Katz, Kendall and Casey, and Hammer and Nigel. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
Approval. Is that how they described it? Quote approval? Yeah, I read this story about reporters discussing how difficult it was when Biden was president to be able to write about him, to be able to get things accomplished, because the Biden administration demanded quote approval. They demanded that if you were going to write something, they were able to look at it. If you wanted access, they were the ones to be able to decide whether it was acceptable. And that means that questions very often were given to the president in advance. The story, Tony Katz, 93 WIBC, good morning, great to be with you. The story would make one believe that they were bothered by this, would make one believe that they were humiliated by this. I have a very hard time with this newfound, what's the word I'm looking for? Upsetness. Is that the word? Is that it? It's like when NPR is at this hearing yesterday, and they refused to admit that they were proactive in covering things up for Joe Biden, that they were proactive in their hatred of Donald Trump and in their trying to manipulate stories, that they wouldn't cover, for example, the Hunter Biden laptop. And now the argument is, oh, that was a mistake. We're sorry. It was purposeful. Catherine Marr, the head over there at NPR, was very clear that the problem is the truth. We can't worry about the truth. We have to worry about working together. And this was her yesterday.
First of all, I do want to say that NPR acknowledges that we were mistaken in failing to cover the Hunter Biden laptop story more aggressively and sooner. Our current editorial leadership.
Wuhan?
We recognize that we were reporting at the time, but we acknowledge that the new CIA evidence is worthy of coverage and have covered it.
You didn't allow people to cover the leak from the Wuhan lab. You didn't allow people to cover Hunter Biden's laptop because you were political. And the only reason a reporter would ever accept quote approval is because they agree with the politics. Let's bring it closer to home. You know that Joe Hogsett still has meetings with the press where they're not allowed to record, pencil and paper only? The reporters of Indianapolis should have gotten together and in one statement said, screw off. But they don't do that, which means they accept this kind of deal. They accept being not journalists, but stenographers. which is why we don't accept them. Ask me to feel bad for a reporter covering Biden? Nah. They accepted the deal. Let them deal with the consequences. Not us. Matt Bear has traffic. What's up, Matthew?
Northbound 465 stop and go traffic from 86th Street up to 865. Downtown northbound 6570 slow from Michigan Street through the North Split out to Meridian Penn. And eastbound 70 a little bit of a slowdown. That's Holt over to Belmont. Northbound 465 on the east side slow after 70 up to Penn Pike. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Spring's here. And it's time for a new patio. Indy Decorative Concrete is offering free demolition. Offer ends April 30th. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com for details. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Indiana patients rely on many types of pharmacies to access their medications and critical healthcare services. But a proposal being considered in the Indiana legislature called SB 140 would disrupt access to medications for Indiana patients. SB 140 would impose government mandates blocking access to critical pharmacy options and services in Indiana. Lost access to pharmacy options would directly harm many of Indiana's most vulnerable patients, including patients fighting cancer and heart disease, many of whom rely on specialty pharmacies for their care. SB 140 would even hike costs for Indiana patients by imposing a $10 tax on every prescription filled in the state. That would often fall directly on the patient. Tell your state legislator, protect access to medications, reject higher costs. Put Indiana patients first by voting no on SB 140, paid for by conservatives for lower healthcare costs.
It's tax time, and tax time is your time to buy a new Nissan and get double your tax refund or down payment only at Andy Moore Nissan of Indianapolis. For a limited time, when you buy any new Nissan, Andy Moore Nissan will double your tax refund or down payment up to $5,000. That means your $1,000 becomes $2,000. Your $2,000 becomes $4,000. Your $4,000 becomes $8,000. This month only, Andy Moore Nissan will double your down payment up to $10,000. Worried about your credit? Don't sweat it. Good credit, bad credit, even no credit. Our credit experts will get you approved with the best terms with as little as $0 down on any new Nissan in stock. Andy Moore Nissan is making deals other dealers won't and approving deals other dealers can't. Andy Moore Nissan, 4302 Lafayette Road, Indianapolis, Indiana.
Hi, I'm Charlie Comer from Comer & Cross Premium Garage Floor Coatings. When your garage floor has stains, cracks, and pits, it makes your whole garage look bad. And a bad epoxy job looks even worse. Look, spring will be here on March 20th. For your best price of the year on your new garage floor, basement, or patio, and installation this spring, please call me now at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. Guaranteed. A Comer & Cross concrete floor coating won't chip, crack, or show tire lift like epoxy or paint ever. In one day, we make it so easy. We move your stuff out for you. We fix the cracks and pits perfectly. And apply your gleaming new Comer & Cross concrete floor in 6 stages, just in time for spring. For your best price of the year on your new garage floor, basement, or patio, and installation by spring, please call me now at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. That's 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. Or go to COMERcross.com.
Blood, sweat, tears. At Bill Estes, we know it takes hard work and years of doing the right thing to build a business people can depend on. That's why we don't make empty promises and expect your trust. Estes earns it. From Ford F-150s and Toyota Tacomas to Ram 1500s and Chevy Silverados, we have the trucks you'll love at prices you can believe in. But don't just take our word for it. Your trust means something. Estes earns it. BillEstes.com.
The deals and specials are sizzling hot. It's the Central Indiana Gun and Knife Show this Saturday and Sunday at the Stoutfield National Guard Armory on West Minnesota Street. The best dealers in the region, hundreds of tables, just $6 for adults, kids 12 and under free. Must be 18 or accompanied by an adult. Buy, sell, trade. This Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Stoutfield National Guard Armory. For more info, visit CentralIndianaGunShows.com.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Reach your fitness goals in 2025 with a 20-minute once-a-week program at Exercise Inc. 5 locations now in Fishers. Visit exerciseinc.com.
Coming up in 2 minutes, what forecasters are saying about your chances for tornadoes this weekend, what political leaders are saying about education, how much time a man will serve for killing his wife, and what a lawsuit says is in your water. Those stories and more coming up after Fox News from the Technology Recyclers Studios on a Thursday morning. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 8 o'clock.
A gang leader busted. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
Thanks to the FBI, we got one of the worst of MS-13 off the streets this morning. Virginia and the country is a lot safer today.
Attorney General Pam Bondi and the FBI director were both there for the operation that captured an MS-13 gang leader in Woodbridge, Virginia. President Trump just posted on Truth Social that his borders are Tom Holman is a superstar. The day after Homeland Security Secretary Kristen Noem went to El Salvador, visiting the jail now housing more than 200 alleged Venezuelan gang members deported on controversial flights a judge tried to stop.
This facility is one of the tools in our toolkit that we will use if you commit crimes against the American people.
Now, a federal appeals court has refused to lift an order from the judge who tried to stop those flights from preventing any more deportations under the Alien Enemies Act that was invoked. President Trump's going to impose more tariffs next week, 25% on all imported cars and trucks and auto parts.
We're going to charge countries for doing business in our country and taking our jobs, taking our wealth.
The president also warned leaders in Canada and Europe if they retaliate, much bigger U.S. tariffs could be coming. Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney says,
"This will hurt us, but through this period, by being together, we will emerge stronger."
The search for answers continues in the Signal group chat controversy. Republican Senator Roger Wicker, chair of the Armed Services Committee, wants an expedited Inspector General review into how a journalist was allowed into the chat, seeing plans for a military operation against Houthi militants in Yemen. Fox's Kevin Cork reports.
The president reiterated his support for the defense secretary and, of course, his national security advisor, though he did tell our Jackie Heinrich that he wouldn't rule out asking Secretary Hegseth to do a classification review of the discussions held online, though he did call the entire episode a witch hunt.
Some of those in the chat need to change passwords. The defense secretary, director of national intelligence, and national security advisor have had their private data leaked online. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Where and how you get the alerts this weekend will be important. You have a clear radar in downtown Indianapolis this morning where it's 36 degrees. Your high today, 60. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 8:02. Forecasters are asking you to pay close attention to the weather this weekend because it could get a little rough. Severe weather will move across the state starting Sunday. Cody Moore at the National Weather Service says it's been a busy severe weather season already.
There was one tornado across southern Indiana. I think that tracked more than 40 miles. So we've already had some, pretty intense severe weather this season. The chances for severe weather definitely ramp up over the next couple of weeks as the pattern certainly supports it.
And Moore says rain is likely Friday and Saturday with strong wind. Construction has resumed in Hancock County.
Last night, the entrance and exit ramps at State Road 9 began closing, and westbound 70 entered a tricky crossover pattern starting before Greenfield. It lasts about 5 miles. Natalie Garrett of INDOT.
We're making improvements to 70 throughout Indiana, section by section.
This construction to I-70, which will add travel lanes, should be finished late October.
And that's Matt Baer reporting. 151 days. That's how long a man will spend in jail for killing his wife in Indianapolis. The cops say David Brinker followed his wife into the street armed with a gun in his hand. And when she went to get into the car, he hung on to the moving car, reached inside the cab to grab her keys, and that's when the gun accidentally went off. What if there was a chance that poisons and cancer-causing materials were seeping into the water? For some Hoosiers, that may be happening, says a lawsuit.
I'm Chris Davis reporting on the suit by the Hoosier Environmental Council filed last week in Morgan County that accuses the state of allowing those toxins to go to coal ash ponds and then possibly the White River at the AES-owned Eagle Valley Generating Station, which is upstream of Martinsville's water wells. The permit from the Indiana Department of Environmental Management ignores the danger and health of people there, says one side of that suit, and the HEC wants the permit revoked. Chris Davis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
If you've been keeping up with the bill that could cut your state income tax, a change was passed on Wednesday in the House Ways and Means Committee that could make that happen easier.
It sets up for the trigger to happen for that income tax reduction. You have to have 4 consecutive years of at least 4% growth. I do want to ask the committee to consider to move that 4% to 3.5%.
If that sounds technical, it's because it is. All it means is cuts could be coming easier. Some Democrats object to the amendment. Hoosier legislators are happy with progress that's being made in education, but now they're looking at what lies ahead. John Herrick explains.
We've seen impressive improvement in Hoosiers' reading skills.
That's State Representative Jake Teshka of North Liberty referring to Indiana coming in 6th in the nation for reading proficiency, according to the National Assessment of Educational Progress rankings. He's helped draft a bill that would allow students to take more advanced math courses if they demonstrate that they're ready. It would also call for students in kindergarten through 2nd grade to go through numeracy screenings to identify learning gaps earlier and provide the necessary support. That bill is being reviewed at the State House. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
And the Indiana Pacers lost to the LA Lakers at the buzzer last night, 120-119. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com. At 8:05, traffic on the 5s. Here's Matt Bear.
Northwest side, northbound 465, stop and go traffic from 86th Street up to 865. And a crash in Madison County. Northbound 69 approaching State Road 236. That's the right lane blocked because of a semi in a ditch. Northbound 6570, stop and go traffic from Ohio Street through the north split out to Meridian Penn. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Spring's here. It's time for a new patio. Indy Decorative Concrete is offering free demolition. Offer ends April 30th. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com for details. I'm Matt Bear on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
Marcus Bailey, Wish TV meteorologist. What's happening?
Hey, Tony. Good morning. We are partly cloudy now. We'll see clouds increase a bit this afternoon and a few scattered showers for time to time after lunchtime as well. Today's high around 56. We'll keep with the rain chances this evening. Overnight, there may be a few rumbles of thunder as well. Nothing severe, and we will be much more mild overnight. Low down to 50. Friday, morning showers, a few thunderstorms gone by lunchtime. We are partly cloudy, very warm for the afternoon. Friday's high 77. Saturday, clouds in the morning. Showers return in the evening, a high of 70. And Sunday, we keep an eye out for some strong to severe thunderstorms by the afternoon and evening hours. Sunday's highs into the upper 60s.
That is Marcus Bailey of Wish TV. Marcus, appreciate it as always. Thank you. 36 degrees in the American Standard Heating Weather Center. The time is 8:07. No idea what predatory towing is, but I know it's going to keep me up at night. No clue. Had not actually heard the term before. Then I saw it in the IBJ, and I'm like, what? Well, this is an Indiana Senate committee looking at language regarding predatory towing in Indiana. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Good to be with you. There are fees hidden administrative fees and fuel surcharges when a truck gets towed. So this comes from Representative Jim Pressel. And it's targeting excessive and unreasonable charges on towing invoices, especially for commercial vehicles like a semi. I have a tremendous number of questions, and I invite anybody from the General Assembly to be able to answer them. Tell me what the issue is. Don't tell me that the towing company can't charge what they charge. Is this an argument of what they're charging or an argument of how they describe the charges? Is this an argument about transparency? Right? The use of predatory immediately is a turnoff. I make the assumption that you're playing a political game and you're unserious. That's how I take it at the first. If you say to me to tow the semi or any truck from point A to point B is $50, then it's $50. If you told me it was $50 and then, there's tax, okay, there's a tax. If you tell me it's $50 and then there's a tax and then there's an administrative fee and then there's a service fee and then there's an impact, and you didn't tell me that prior, okay. Well, now we're getting into a place where Hoosiers would be like, well, that's a conversation. You need to know these things, right? We want transparency in our in our billing from a hospital. We want transparency here as well. There's a question as to whether or not this bill is the right one. You've got Gary Byrne from Burnville, from the same name, saying it doesn't think it hits the right target. I'm a small business owner myself. I'm going to pay the bill. I'm going to deal with the company through the court system. That can already happen. I just believe that there's some other avenues besides creating this board to oversee all of this. Well, to say that I can go through the court system is saying that the abuse could take place to begin with. And I'm not arguing the fees. I think the towing company can charge what they choose. But the actual fees need to be disclosed. And if they're not disclosed, then we have the issue. I think, is that the argument? Somebody needs to get with me and explain to me what the bloody heck a predatory fee is. In the meantime, decisions from the Supreme Court and how they affect our Second Amendment rights. Guy Relford joining us in mere moments to discuss the latest 7-2 decision from the court that's coming up. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning.
We're definitely going to be late to the concert. I feel like we should be there by now.
I'm just taking a little detour. I got to fill up my gas tank, and I know this place a couple towns over where the gas is cheaper.
Are you serious? We're going to be late for the concert because you're driving out of the way for cheaper gas? Just use Upside.
What's Upside?
Upside is the free cashback app that gets you real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait, I can get cash back just for buying the gas I need anyway?
Yes, I use it all the time, and I've made around $200. Now pull over so you can download the Upside app before we miss the concert.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code PHIL25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank, PayPal, or as a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code PHIL25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code PHIL25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus. That's code PHIL25.
From a fast break to recovery, Indiana hospitals are here for every Hoosier, regardless of their ability to pay. That's why we're teaming up with legislators on a winning playbook to lower costs and protect access to care across our communities. Because good policy doesn't leave anyone on the sidelines. Learn more at HoosierLifeline.com.
Paid for by the Indiana Hospital Association.
I'll say this. There are no entries in the Hoops Fan Hall of Fame who didn't show up to the game. Yes, you in the back.
Professor, March Madness is coming to Indianapolis. Are we ready?
You prepared to bring the fire? Give it 110 from tip to the final buzzer? Oh, you're ready. The NCAA Sweet 16 and Elite 8, March 28th and 30th in Indianapolis. Buy your seats today at ncaa.com/MVB tickets. Class dismissed.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
In the Matt Bear Tournament of Traffic, it's win and go home.
It's taken a lot of work to get here. You just want to advance through the field.
All right, traffic is really backing up on the south.
And to do that, you've got to drive the lanes.
2 vehicle crash blocking the left and center lanes.
You guys know this. You've got to find the openings and take your shots.
Updating your traffic bracket. Mornings and afternoons.
Prepare.
Construction backups brutal. Watch for the zone.
March Matt Bear Traffic Madness is on 93 WIBC.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students.
Traffic on the 5s. Matt Bear, what are you doing?
Yeah, Tony, northbound 465, stop and go traffic, 86th Street up to 865, and downtown, northbound 65, 70 loaded up from Michigan Street through the North Split out to Meridian Penn. Northbound 69, Madison County, crash on the shoulder near State Road 236, more slow back to State Road 109. Traffic sponsored by ExpressPros.com. Make hiring easier with the workforce experts. Let the people at Express Employment Professionals find you the right fit. Hiring is about people, not algorithms. Visit ExpressPros.com. I'm Matt Bear on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
We've got 36 degrees in the American Standard Heating Weather Center. The time is it? That's 8:15. So the Supreme Court makes a decision regarding firearms. The decision left to the untrained eye, which we'll say mine, seems to be a problem for gun owners and seems to be a problem for the idea of being able to keep and bear arms. Tony Katz, great to be with you. 7-2 decision. The Supreme Court upholding an ATF rule, Department of Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, that was put forth under the Biden administration, treating unfinished frames and receivers, do-it-yourself gun-making kits, as fully functional firearms subject to federal law. This was written by Gorsuch. Dissent from Alito and Clarence Thomas. I'm confused because there's a second part to this story, which is that it focuses not on the Second Amendment, but the Administrative Procedures Act. Guy Relford joins us right now. He is the gun guy. RelfordLaw.com, Second Amendment attorney, creator of the 2A Project, and is the host of the Gun Guy Show on 93.1 FM WIBC. Guy Relford, let's start with the basics. Why does this case make its way to the Supreme Court?
Well, the Fifth Circuit, which is the federal appellate court over district courts in Texas, Mississippi, and Louisiana, has really sort of set a precedent for striking down gun law after gun law after gun law. And this particular regulation passed, as you said, Tony, under the under the Biden administration, that regulates incomplete firearms and firearm kits, was found to not comply with the Administrative Procedures Act, to not be consistent with the definitions of Congress in defining a firearm. So the Fifth Circuit struck it down. The government then took it up to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court decided to take it. And a lot of us, when the Supreme Court decided to take this case, really predicted this outcome for a couple different reasons. But It doesn't refer to all unfinished firearms. It doesn't refer to all or even affect all firearm kits. It just said that a facial challenge, which means that the regulation was unenforceable and illegal as applied to any unfinished firearm or any firearm kit, that they said that challenge fails. Some kits may be so incomplete as to not constitute a firearm and therefore not be regulated. Others, though, clearly, according to the Supreme Court, are finished enough and close enough to being a firearm that they constitute a firearm and can be regulated as firearms, meaning they have to be serialized, they have to be sold subject to a background check, and the prohibited possessors can't buy them.
So this leads to a couple of questions. First, what is it that it matters that the focus was about the Administrative Procedures Act, and maybe a definition of what that is, and not the Second Amendment? Does that matter for people like yourself who advocate for and defend and push for better gun access and certainly less regulations on the Second Amendment as a whole?
It does matter, and there's a general rule that the Supreme Court observes, which is if it can uphold a statute without addressing constitutionality, then it will do so. And that's even discussed in one of the dissenting opinions. But that's what it chose to do. So exactly to your point, and you're exactly right, it's not a Second Amendment decision at all. It just simply said the challenge was that the regulations definition of firearm and definition of firearm and the regulations definition of frame or receiver of a firearm, which are also considered firearms. The challenge was that the regulation was inconsistent with the rules of Congress, therefore violated the Administrative Procedures Act. And that's the only issue really brought before the court, and it's the only issue the court decided. So there is still available out there a Second Amendment challenge on this same regulation.
Talking to Guy Relford, Second Amendment attorney, relfordlaw.com. He is the gun guy. His show every single Saturday, starting at 5 p.m. on 93.1 FM WIBC. And, of course, you can catch him on cable news all around the country. The second part of this actually gets addressed in the decision. Because if we're going to argue that a kit is close enough to a full gun and therefore, as you described, needs to be serialized, have a serial number, etc., is a semi-automatic weapon, which is, of course, allowed by the general public, close enough to a fully automatic weapon and therefore can be regulated by the state? It seems that in the decision, they're saying no. In making the argument, the plaintiff's fears are misplaced. The government represents that AR-15 receivers do not qualify as a receiver of a machine gun. Now, people like Cam Edwards of Bearing Arms, who we both know and like, I consider him a dear friend, he still worries about how this decision brings about the slippery slope. What are the Second Amendment implications here regarding this decision, and can the court utilize this or somebody else utilize this as a way of saying semi-automatic is basically close enough to fully automatic, and therefore we can't allow those either?
You know, I would be more concerned about that, and I agree with you, by the way. I'm a big fan of Cam's, and he does a great job. But I'm less concerned about that than he is, and that's because of the Supreme Court's decision in the bump stock case, the Cargill versus U.S. case that came out just a bit ago, because they make very clear there that being kind of sort of like a semi-automatic, kind of sort of like an automatic firearm is not being an automatic firearm. And a bump stock that replicates, for instance, the rate of fire under some conditions doesn't get you, quote unquote, close enough to where you can regulate it like a machine gun. I think that Cargill case puts an end to that argument, even though it might otherwise be available under some of the language out of this case. I don't think, because that is so much more directly on point, which is semi-automatic is not kind of sort of like automatic so that it can be regulated as automatic. That issue was discussed specifically in the Cargill case. It's only by implication that you can make that argument out of this Vanderstock case that we're discussing. I just don't think it makes it past the Cargill analysis.
As you look at this court, and certainly this decision, other decisions, and you see moves from Amy Coney Barrett Neil Gorsuch, Brett Kavanaugh. It seems that while these were all Trump appointees, these are different justices than Alito and Thomas. Is this a generational thing? Is this a political thing? What is your take on these so-called conservative justices? Notice I don't add John Roberts to that mix.
It's such a good question, and I think that there's a very clear message here, and it comes partly out of this case, and it partly comes out of the other recent Supreme Court Second Amendment decision, which is the Rahimi case, and that is some of these justices, although are generally pro-Second Amendment, and Gorsuch has written some awesome opinions, Kavanaugh has as well, and did as circuit court judges before they joined the Supreme Court. I think some of these judges are result-driven. And that, for instance, I think what definitely influenced this court is the statistic that they quoted, which is that in 2017, there were 1,600 unserialized firearms that were recovered at crime scenes. In 2021, there were 19,000. So more than a 10x increase in just 4 years. I think they're looking at that saying, you know what, this is a legitimate problem. We need to find a way to allow the ATF to regulate these. The Rahimi case is the Supreme Court decision, as you know, Tony, that found that if someone is subject to a domestic violence order of protection, that you can take their firearms away and deprive them of Second Amendment rights. And when that case went up, I said, oh, man, Rahimi's a bad guy. Rahimi is a violent guy. He was subject to a domestic violence order of protection for very good reasons. I think the Supreme Court's going to be result-oriented and not take a strict due process analysis and a strict Second Amendment analysis and say, you know what, we're okay with bad guys like Rahimi being stripped of their Second Amendment rights, and that's just exactly what they did with some of these same justices ruling in favor of the government. So I think what this tells us is some of these judges, while generally pro-Second Amendment, are result-driven, and where they see a legitimate problem in their eyes that needs to be addressed in the form of gun control, they'll uphold it. That's red flag clause, I think, would fall into that category with this court. It did with domestic violence order of protection, specifically in Rahimi, and it did here with quote-unquote ghost guns, given what they called an explosion of the use of unserialized firearms in crimes in the U.S.
Guy Relford will have to leave it there. RelfordLaw.com, Second Amendment attorney, the 2A Project as well, RelfordLaw.com. Guy Relford, always good to have you with us, man. Matt Bear has got traffic. What's going on, Matt?
Looking at northbound 465 on the east side, slow from 70 up to East 56. Inbound 70 slows down Emerson to Sherman, and then northbound 65 slow out of the North Split to Meridian Penn. Crash, it's outbound Madison County, northbound 69. It's closed after State Road 9, State Road 109 exit. And right now, all lanes shut down. I'm told we have a semi in the right ditch. Again, northbound 69. Now some traffic getting through a little bit with 2 right lanes blocked. So a bad delay up there of about a mile and a half long of stopped traffic. Traffic sponsored by Grand Appliance. Shop the all-American sale at Grand Appliance for slam dunk savings on select American-made appliances. Don't miss out. Visit grandappliance.com or your local Grand today. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Hey, this is Rob.
And this is Casey.
Some Republicans are upset. Elon Musk is coming for Social Security.
Join us Thursday, 9 until noon on 93 WIBC.
Finally, the answer to the age-old question, do you have a tree guy? The answer is yes. It's Circle City Trees, and you're like, who needs a tree guy? Honestly, sometimes I don't know why we're friends. Everybody needs a tree guy. You have yourself a backyard that is barren. It's a wasteland, and you're like, man, wouldn't it be great if we had a shade tree? But where are we going to get a shade tree? That's Circle City Trees, because you have a tree guy, or an evergreen, or a fruit tree, or an ornamental tree, or flowering trees. They have got everything you need to make your backyard beautiful, to give you that shade on the deck. How about a little protection and a little privacy from that weirdo neighbor? You know the one I'm talking about. No, the other neighbor. That's who I'm talking about. CircleCityTrees.com. The pricing is right on the website. You know exactly what's going to happen. You know how much it's going to cost, and they take care of the installation and the warranty. You should check them out in Zionsville, East 300 South in Zionsville, and see everything they have to offer, right? Every tree has a personality. Every tree has a style. Every tree has a look. Go find the one that's right for you, and then, boom, get your tree guy to make it happen for you. CircleCityTrees.com, a large selection of mature trees, only trees that thrive in Indiana. 317-768-3005. 768-3005 or online at CircleCityTrees.com.
Hi, this is Chris Cox, owner of Chimney Solutions, Indiana. We're celebrating our 10th year in business. Call this month to take advantage of 10% off all chimney sweeps and inspections. We're also celebrating the opening of our new fireplace showroom on 86th Street and Lafayette Road. Come and experience our exclusive lines of wood-burning and gas fireplaces.
Call 317-757-6979 or chimneyindy.com.
Hey, this is Spencer Thompson at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. Ready for better sleep? Now is your chance during the March mattress sale. Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, King Coil, Bed Gear, and Nectar mattresses, you can save up to $800 with up to 4 years interest-free financing. And don't forget, Thompson Furniture delivers for free. Hurry! Sale ends Monday only at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
When you wake up,
you understand this is about money. 1,000%. They started this.
When you work,
we are going to make some noise today.
Eliminate property taxes now.
Hanging out with us, it's fun.
Right.
When you drive home.
Is it time to try something new, you think? Because it hasn't worked, and maybe try something new.
Traffic when you need it.
Stopped on 465 again.
And updates all the time.
I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go.
Stay in the know wherever you go with 93 WIBC.
Oh, yeah. Nobody has more fun in the afternoon than we do. We're the Hammer and Nigel Show. We start at 3:06. Biggest stories in Indy. Hammer and Nigel Madness. Rob Kendall off the rails. Let's go.
Oh, no. Stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
What are you going to do when the weather gets a little rough? It's not rough right now. It's 36 degrees, calm and clear in downtown Indianapolis. Your high today, 60. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 8:31. Tornadoes are possible this weekend as some rough weather moves across the state.
Severe storms technically mean severe winds above 60 miles per hour. So the threat is certainly there for high winds like that whenever the storms pass through.
Cody Moore at the National Weather Service talking about how to get the alerts and be vigilant, staying from warnings and watches. He says rain is in the forecast the next couple of days. FBI agents say they've arrested a leader from the MS-13 gang. It happened Thursday in Virginia.
They're safe. They executed a clean, safe operation, and the bad guys in custody. And thanks to the FBI, we got one of the worst of MS-13 off the streets this morning. Virginia and the country is a lot safer today.
Attorney General Pam Bondi speaking at a press conference. The arrest happened in Woodbridge, Virginia, about 40 miles south of Washington, D.C. MS-13 is currently active in many parts of the U.S., Canada, Mexico, and Central America. 2 people involved with the Mexican Mafia gang, Sir 13, are wanted by Indianapolis police this morning. Both men are facing charges for criminal organization, which is a level 5 felony. Court records say there's also a 16-year-old wanted. This has to do with the raids that happened last week where they took 7 people into custody. Why some Indiana Democrats object to the income tax cuts bill. Chris Davis on an amendment that passed Wednesday.
If you've been following the bill, that could provide you with some relief by cutting the state income tax, provided the state's economy grows consistently. An amendment to that bill passed 16-7 in the House Ways and Means Committee with objections.
I think this is a worrisome path. It's cost us before. In fact, it's costing us this year, where we're imposing tax cuts that we didn't know what they would be like when today's environment arose. So here we go again, so I'm a no.
Representative Ed Delaney of Indianapolis. The amendment actually makes it easier for the income tax to go down. Some lawmakers say that's too much tax cutting. Chris Davis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Well, if you haven't played it yet, now is probably the time to get involved. The Powerball jackpot has officially crossed the $500 million mark. There was no grand prize winner in last night's drawing, driving the jackpot up to $515 million. The cash option is $243 million, and you have a 1 in 292 million chance to win that jackpot. Sports on WIBC is brought to you by Ball State Athletics. Visit ballstatesports.com. The Indiana Pacers led by 1 in the final seconds last night against the Los Angeles Lakers.
9 seconds to go. They'll hang on to the timeout. James has it right side. 4 seconds to go. On top to Doncic. A floater from the foul line is tipped in as time expires.
Mark Boyle on the Elevance Health Radio Network. Pacers guard Benedict Mathurin scored 23 points off the bench. The Pacers are in D.C. today to take on the Wizards tonight. The Sweet 16 continues tonight with 4 games. The Midwest region tipping off tomorrow at Lucas Oil Stadium. Purdue taking on Houston. The winner gets either Tennessee or Kentucky in the Elite Eight. Minor League Baseball season gets underway tomorrow. The Indianapolis Indians open on the road against the St. Paul Saints. In Major League Baseball today, the Cincinnati Reds host the San Francisco Giants in its opener. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com at 8:35. Traffic on the 5s. Good morning, Matt Bear.
All right, looking at eastbound 465 north side, slow. Michigan Road over to Meridian. Inbound 70, a little bit slow from Emerson to Rural Street. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Spring's here and it's time for a new patio. Indy Decorative Concrete is offering free demolition. Offer ends April 30th. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com for details. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
We have got ourselves 36 degrees in the American Standard Heating Weather Center. The time is 8:35.
How bad is it? Don't sugarcoat it. Give it to me straight. Want coffee?
I think I need some coffee.
Time to fill up on the news. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. You got to forgive me. You got to forgive me a little. Cough right there. I was having a snack, a little breakfast, and yesterday I was coming back from Kokomo because I was checking out the site there for the event on April 17th. Tickets.TonyKatz.com, and there's Wilson's Farm Market. I mean, they're a sponsor of the show, and there's so I picked up the chicken. I picked up the fried chicken and some cheese curds, and there was still some left. The family did not devour it all. So I said, okay, that will be a breakfast. And honestly, I should have gotten more. That's they're not a sponsor of the show. They're just a sponsor of the station. I'm just saying, delicious. Dow futures up 39. NASDAQ futures are down 58. And of course, the big news yesterday that Trump announcing that tariffs would be taking place on automobiles not made in the U.S.
So, this is the beginning of Liberation Day in America. We're going to take back just some of the money that has been taken from us by people sitting behind this desk or another desk that's not quite as nice, but they have their choice of 7, as you know. And we're going to charge countries for doing business in our country and taking our jobs, taking our wealth, taking a lot of things that they've been taking over the years. They've taken so much out of our country, friend and foe, and frankly, friend has been oftentimes much worse than foe. And this is very modest. And what we're going to be doing is a 25% tariff on all cars that are not made in the United States.
That's a big number and absolutely can have an effect. And certainly, as other nations would see it, you could argue that it's, hey, you've been taking advantage of the United States. But other nations are going to say, yeah, but we're not going to sacrifice our future, we've got a country we have to take care of too, and we have a pride we have to deal with too. And you're only special to Americans, you ain't special to us, and that's where the fight's going to be. And this is going to lead to higher prices. Trump's overarching thesis is that it'll bring more business here. And he points to Taiwan Semiconductor, he points to Hyundai. He can point to things and say, see, it's working. We'll see. We will see if that is what we get, if that is the actual result. I think things could get a little sketchy for a while, as I've discussed. West Texas crude oil prices, $69.52 a barrel. Brent crude, now $73.64. Some of this could have to do, again, with tariffs. Buying oil or gas from Venezuela, those countries will pay a 25% secondary tariff on trade with the United States. China, India, Spain, Italy, and oddly enough, Cuba, as listed here from oilprice.com, all on the list of the 10-year Treasury right now at 4.373. It has actually tickled 4.4. That sounds weird when I say it. Earlier today. We're talking about getting back to 7% interest rates on mortgages. Not where we want to be. Still, Trump excels with the American people on popularity and on the economy. But these things are going to hurt. And they do. Tariffs are taxes, and we should be clear. Just because the president announces them, signs it, doesn't mean it's actually going to happen. First, tariffs were the most beautiful word in the world, and then we were going to have all these tariffs, and then, no, we won't have those tariffs, we'll have these tariffs, and then, no, we can't have tariffs the way they do tariffs, we have to be more lenient, and everything is still a negotiation. So while this is happening, and certainly the market's reacting to it, I don't want to overreact to it. That seems nutty. By the way, the world is crazy, but we do not have to be. That's why we have the Tony Katz TK Thursday Music Moment presented by KillaDentRemoval.com. Kill a Dent Removal. You got the door ding. You got the hail damage. Somebody took that shopping cart, boom, right into your car. Kill a Dent Removal. KillaDentRemoval.com for the door ding repair, the mobile dent repair. They will come to you. They do incredible work. Friends have used the service, really liked the results. KillaDentRemoval.com to make your car look fantastic and terrific and good. And so what we do for the Tony Katz TK Thursday Music Moment, we roll down the windows in the car. Turn up the speakers. We grab a drink. I'm not here to judge you. You get what you want, boo-boo. And we just play some music and we relax for a minute. We take a breath. We take a beat. Because it's important. We'll get back to it all. But it's important every now and then. Just take a breath. Take it easy. And today I bring you to 2007. I did not pay enough attention to her when she was alive. That is my fault. But man, could she sing. So, grab a beverage, not judging, step outside, roll down the window, whatever it takes. The TK Thursday Music Moment presented by KillaDentRemoval.com. Amy Winehouse, Back to Black. Producer Carl, hit it.
Same old safe bet.
Damn. That is just good. The entire list of Thursday music moments are there at WIBC.com. Matt Bear has traffic on the 5s. What's up, Matthew?
All right, in Madison County, northbound 69 is closed to State Road 9 because of a crash involving a semi. It's over in the ditch right now, and traffic is stopped from State Road 109 for about 2.5 miles. Looking at westbound 70 slows from Sherman Drive to rural. Inbound 69 slow roll after 106 282nd. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Spring's here and it's time for a new patio. Indy Decorative Concrete is offering free demolition. Offer ends April 30th. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com for details. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
36 degrees in the American Standard Heating Weather Center. The time is 8:47.
Never miss your favorite shows on WIBC. Get your content to go.
Would you like fries with that?
Tony Katz, Kendall and Casey, Hammer and Nigel, Tony Kennett, The Gun Guy, Home and Garden. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Another update is just minutes away.
Pushing back on the Signal group chat controversy.
I think it's a witch hunt.
Journalist was mistakenly invited into that chat. Democrats want a full investigation.
Hear the news.
25% tariff on all cars that are not made in the United States.
Starting April 3rd.
As events happen.
Rain and wind and even tornadoes could happen on Sunday.
The pattern certainly supports it.
We'll happen to be there.
I-70 construction in Hancock County.
Resurfacing.
20-mile stretch without an exit.
93 WIBC Mobile News.
Recent talk about rising interest rates, economic uncertainty. This could be getting you wondering, is this the right time to sell your house? You can get the price that you need. Is it going to take too long? You don't have the time. You need the cash. There's good news. You don't have to figure it out by yourself. You should talk to Mark Dietel. Friendly, no pressure, experienced real estate agent. This is what he does. You could be worried about, for example, hey, you know what? I need more space, right? Growing family, working from home. I have to make this change. Mark Dietel is the real estate expert trusted and recommended with the sale of your home. Mark Dietel guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it and you just pick your move date. No long-term contracts. You can cancel any time. Greg in Franklin said, my tenant moved out of my investment property and I was ready to sell. I heard about Mark on the radio and everything they say is true. In 15 days on the market, I had a cash offer I wanted on the property. Selling with Mark Dietel was fast, easy, and profitable. Call the local Indianapolis agent, trusted and recommended, the agent who guarantees your home sold, or he'll buy it. That's Mark Dietel. 317-755-4232. 755-4232. Get all the details or go online to markdietel.com. That's Mark Dietel, D-I-E-T-E-L, markdietel.com.
This is the most exciting time of the year, and we want you to go all the way, even if your team doesn't. March on, Indiana, in a Hubler quality pre-owned vehicle. Shop any of Hubler's 13 locations and choose from over 2,000 vehicles, including Chevys, Fords, Toyotas, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and many more. All makes, all models, certified vehicles, luxury vehicles, even the hard-to-find ones. Every Hubler Q-certified vehicle is covered by a 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty, plus a 128-point vehicle inspection, and a free Carfax history report. Hubler's got you covered. Busted brackets not included. For over 2,000 vehicles, visit drivehubler.com or any of our 13 locations.
Hubler's got you covered. Cover me!
Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
The floodgates are about to open in Indiana as spring approaches. Don't press your luck thinking your sump pump is working properly before it's too late. A sump pump is vital to protecting your home from heavy rains and rising waters that can sneak inside and wreak havoc in your home. Luckily for you, during the month of March, my friends at Hope Plumbing are offering a $300 off the purchase of a new sump pump with a battery backup. Call Hope Plumbing today and keep your head above water.
It's dent season, the time of year Mother Nature decides to take out her aggression on your vehicle. Don't paint your car, go PDR with Kill a Dent Removal. PDR is paintless dent removal that saves your factory finish and is way less invasive than traditional body shop repairs. And it's faster too, sometimes same day. Google Kill a Dent Removal and check out the reviews and photos. Then schedule your repair. When Mother Nature throws a tantrum and messes up the look of your vehicle, don't paint your car, go PDR with Kill a Dent Removal.
Discover Barkeep Vodka, the cleanest and smoothest vodka thanks to its unique compression filtering by Indy-based True Essence.
Top shelf quality and value, and you're supporting local Indiana farms. Grab a bottle at any Indiana store or visit barkeepvodka.com.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go, shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Make this your year. Looking for a new career in the high-demand fields of IT, cybersecurity, and AI? Attend classes live online or on campus. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. Financial aid is available to those who qualify.
Mr. Carl, Tony Katz at 93 WIBC. Good morning. It's time to play America's favorite game. What the heck is that TV theme song? Here is how we play. Producer Carl picks a television theme song. I have to guess what it is. And today, honestly, Producer Carl, you know, some of these you do like this week you did Angie, which was from 1979, 1980, and that was impossible. And no one knew what it was. Absolutely nobody.
People in the chat knew.
Oh, well, the chat room, they drink a lot, and they sit at home all day, and they don't have the time. But then there's theme songs like that. Play it again. Go ahead, play it again. Once it gets there, you're like, oh, that's Third Rock from the Sun. There it is. John Lithgow at his finest, except when he is an angry preacher dad in Footloose. That was too simple. That was too simple. We gotta make it a little tougher than that. A little tougher than that for the future. That's all I'm asking. But I'm happy to get another one right. Oh, I didn't watch the show. I just knew what the theme was. I think I've seen 2 or 3 episodes.
And yet you retained the song in your head.
What was that?
And yet you retain the song in your head.
Oh, yeah, I retain a lot of stuff in my head. Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. I have sadly some useless information in there, right? Every now and then, the whole Voltron thing happens, like how they create that giant space lion. That's in my head. I know Nigel's last name. Useless information. Just wrapped up in the brain parts, for sure. On Tony Katz today, we'll have more about these judges telling Trump he can't do his job, and the Attorney General Pam Bondi announcing that a top MS-13 gang leader has been arrested. I believe this taking place in Virginia. This took place overnight in Virginia. This arrest has been made. These are the kinds of things that build Trump popularity. He said he was going to do something about illegal immigrants, do something about the violent criminals, and it's happening.
We have been out since about 4:30 this morning. The great men and women of law enforcement have been working on this operation for days and days and probably weeks. Early this morning, one of the top leaders of MS-13 was apprehended. He was the leader for the East Coast, one of the top 3 in the entire country.
That's Pam Bondi. I'll have more on that on Tony Katz today at noon. Ken and Casey are up next, and Matt Bear has traffic.
Westbound 70 stopped after Emerson Avenue into the north split. We do have a crash reported in the area. North side crash, West 86th Street to the east of 465. That's an injury crash. Somebody could be trapped inside a vehicle here. Eastbound 465 on the north side slows before Allisonville Road over to I-6.